The DFW has already seen one champion crowned, but will they see another? That is the question that is on everyone's minds here at AT&T Stadium as we have the 6A Division II state championships here in Arlington as the Desoto Eagles take on the Bulldogs of Summer Creek. Jared Jones, Coach U, back up top, AT&T Stadium for another state championship. And Coach, if last game was any indication, this is bound to be, as my grandfather used to say, this is bound to be a good one.
Oh, it's going to be a real physical football game. You'll have speed on both sides and really another heavyweight matchup in the D2 bracket. Want me to go over the keys to success?
Well, we'll go over to those keys in just a moment. For our Simple Simons pregame show, we have our Hispanic Texas High School Football Coaches Association member spotlight and much more. We'll get you going for pregame right after this. We'll take a break when we come back in 1 minute. DeSoto, Summer Creek at AT&T Stadium.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Back at the pregame, it's DeSoto and Summer Creek prepare to do battle in our 6A Division II state championship. Coach, you were pretty much spot on with your keys of the game last game. Let's see if you can go 2 for 2. What have you got?
All right, after scouting both teams, I feel like Summer Creek's rushing attack versus DeSoto's rushing attack is going to be the key to victory for either team. Summer Creek is going to be led by number 25, Lloyd Avant. He's a 5'10 senior. He's rushed for over 2,100 yards and 31 total touchdowns. He's really a workhorse, and he's going to have to go against a physical DeSoto front seven to see what he can gain. On the opposite side of that, you have Tiger Ridden. He is a junior. Last year, he was the MVP, the offensive MVP for DeSoto. He's been going off. I believe his season has been cut a little bit short due to injury. He's 9 games played, over 1,000 yards rushing, 11 touchdowns. He's averaging about 110 yards per game. Honestly, the kid is a true bell cow. They're going to run on him. They're going to run a whole bunch of zone behind him and see if he can find the hole and explode through. Next key to success is DeSoto's lethal passing game. Their passing game is going to be led by senior quarterback DJ Bailey, very accurate kid committed to Sam Houston State University. His 2 top targets is number 7, Antonio Pride, and number 13, Dylan Singleton. Last thing is it's going to be a very physical matchup. Summer Creek prides themselves on the weight room, discipline, and getting takeaways. They have about 39 takeaways on the season, just under 3 takeaways per game. Can they match up with the South Dallas Speed? Jared, I don't know if they can or not. We'll find out tonight.
Well, we've seen that South Dallas Speed firsthand, Coach, for the past 4.5 hours. It could really put your defense in a pretty tough spot, especially if they get you down early and force you to claw your way back into games. North Shore eventually, slowly but surely, started to claw back into that game against Duncanville, but that South Dallas Speed, Coach, as you mentioned, is too much for him. Coach, as always, great insight for your keys to the game. Now let's transition to our Hispanic Texas High School Football Coaches Association member spotlight. Back in the 6A state championships, the second time that you've been on the Antler Sports Network with a state championship on the line, and it's also the second straight time that you're here at AT&T Stadium. First things first, with you guys and your DeSoto Eagles being here back-to-back years, did that kind of give you a bit of a home field advantage? You don't have to search for the locker rooms. You're already acclimated with everything. Does that kind of help to the magnification or just the magnitude of this game?
I believe it does. We've played at AT&T before, not only at the state title game, but we've played there before. playing in big venues and big games, I think gives us an advantage.
Now, when you talk about these big games, it doesn't get much bigger than this. Against the Summer Creek team out of the Humble area, it's DFW versus Houston. Of course, Texas is a pretty close-knit state, but when it comes to Metroplex rivalries, I like to call it does get pretty chippy. How does it feel to be able to represent the DFW in this game against a Houston team?
It feels great. We were looking forward to it at the beginning of the year. When we looked at the brackets at the beginning of the playoff run, we were hoping it would be North Shore, and we were hoping it would be Summer Creek, and we would hope the whole city comes out and supports, and we're looking for a Houston-Dallas rivalry.
Now, in this rivalry game, interestingly enough, both of the 6A games are two of the same districts. DeSoto out of 6A Division 11, District 11, and Summer Creek out of District 21. Same lineup with with Duncanville and North Shore. So you're representing your district pretty well and representing the DFW pretty well. Coach, as always, every time we talk, we know that you're not a superstitious kind of guy, but here on the Antler Sports Network for these Hispanic Texas High School Football Coaches Association games, you always find a way to bring out spectacular moments and give the network spectacular moments. How does it feel to know that you're representing this organization in the biggest game of the year?
I mean, it feels great. I look at it as an opportunity to knock doors down and give Hispanic coaches an opportunity to let people know that, hey, we can coach and we can be in big-time programs. And it's not a far-fetched idea for high school coaches, Hispanic coaches, to want to be in programs like Duncanville, DeSoto, Allen.
Now, you talk about those Allens and the Duncanvilles and the DeSotos, and honestly, I can definitely see how other coaches within your field, particularly Hispanic coaches of Hispanic descent, can look up to guys like you and the rest of the members of the organization and say, hey, that's something I can aspire to be. Do you have any stories of when you were coming up in the coaching ranks and some of the struggles that you have to deal with and what's led to your success today?
I'll tell you what, this is what I tell every young coach. Find a head coach that's driven, that wants to be in a big-time program, and attach yourself to him. Have him be your mentor, because he's aspiring to get places. Get out of your comfort zone. I came from from Eagle Pass, which is down by the river, 99% Hispanic, and I knew that I wanted to go coach in a bigger city, and I was told that would never happen. And I just, from year one to year two, I ended up in Eagle Pass, and then year two, I ended up in Galveston, and from there, I ended up in Austin, and I was just trying to find a way in. And once I found a way in at LBJ with Coach Mathis, I stayed, and we ended up at DeSoto, and the rest is history. We're going for a second state title, 2 in a row, and I've had some great opportunities, some great memories, and I can't thank him enough. And hopefully, I'll open the door for somebody else one day.
Now, Coach, looking at your playoff path, you pretty much handedly defeated pretty much every team that you went against, putting up over 40 points in every single game. The highlight of that being a 65-31 win over Willis. And that very next round, you took on a rival that I would say relatively well. It was a rematch of the Battle of the Beltline against Cedar Hill, a team that you handily beat in the regular season. Kind of talk about your playoff path and what the mood was amongst the coaching staff, amongst the players week to week, knowing that you're fighting towards that ultimate goal, a goal that you guys have realized. So you have that chip on your shoulder. Everyone knows that DeSoto's trying to go for back-to-back. But what was it like going week to week, traveling to these games, taking on these big-time teams?
I'll tell you what, the way we look at it every week is we always read a clipping where somebody is looking down on DeSoto. Somebody's picking against us. Somebody's nitpicking against us. So our whole way of looking at things is it's another week that we got to prove ourselves. Another week we got to prove ourselves. Another week we got to quiet the haters, quiet the doubters, and that's the way we look at it. We pick what nitpick they're doing that week. Like when we played Willis, their quarterback is better than ours. I said, okay, so let's prove them wrong. How can we prove them wrong? By beating them. The following week, Cedar Hill. Oh, well, Cedar Hill is playing a great, playoff run. They've turned things around. I said, okay. So basically, you're looking down on our defense. So let's go in there and prove it again. And we're looking at that every week. It's DeSoto versus everybody. We're not ducking any smoke. We want all the smoke, and we take every challenge.
Now, this challenge is the last challenge of the year. It's winner take all. It's the best against the best. You're going against the number 9 ranked team in the land via the final rankings and the Summer Creek Bulldogs. What have you seen on film that you're looking forward to seeing from this Bulldog squad?
Great running back. Great running back. They run the ball 65% of the time. They throw the ball 35% of the time. If we stop their run game, we win the game. That's simple.
Just as easy as that, huh, Coach?
That easy. Stop Levon and stop number 2, the quarterback, from running the ball. Make him one-dimensional to throw, and we win the game.
Now, Coach, you talk about that tandem, and of course we know DeSoto is packed with talent, some of the best talent, not just in the state, but really in the country. Multiple Division I athletes on both sides of the football. But who are some guys that really aren't always on the scouting report that we should look out for?
Jamari Lay, middle linebacker. His biggest knock is he's undersized, but he's got the biggest heart. McCauley, safety, senior. Had 2 turnovers against Duncanville, caused 2 turnovers against Duncanville. He will come down and strike you. Those 2 guys never get mentioned. They get overlooked because of their size, but they're the reasons why we're here.
Now, Coach, finally, I'm glad that you brought up the senior. That really leads perfectly into my last question. As a senior, you go into that locker room at AT&T Stadium. It's the biggest game of the year. It's a state championship. It is guaranteed to be your last game of your high school football career. And even for some seniors, could be their last football game possibly ever. Sad to say. How have the seniors approached this game? How have they showed any extra leadership as the playoffs continue to rage on, especially with those seniors having state championship experience?
Right now, their mindset is they're going to leave a legacy. This will be the first DeSoto team to ever go back-to-back if we win. That's history right there. You got 2 black head coaches going at it. You got a Hispanic assistant head coach. There's a lot of history being made on Saturday.
And most importantly, the biggest part of that history as a state champion will be crowned. Coach, thank you as always for sitting with us and speaking with us for this momentous occasion. We appreciate everything you do for the network and for the Hispanic Texas High School Football Coaches Association. And most importantly, best of luck.
Thank you.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic Sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back to AT&T Stadium for our coverage of the 6A state championships. It's the final game of the Texas high school football season as Desoto takes on Summer Creek. And while we have a moment, let's go ahead and take a minute to introduce our starters. Coach Yu, let's begin with the Desoto offense. Of course, as we know, led by quarterback DJ Bailey. This man has been tearing up the high school football scene for years. Coach, expect a pretty good game from him. We've already seen plenty of great quarterback performances tonight. I would expect nothing less from DJ.
Yeah, this individual, he keeps improving every year. I saw him as, firsthand as a sophomore when we played him back in 2021. He has 3,900 yards passing, 45 touchdowns through the air, and only 3 interceptions. That's a heck of a ratio to have. And we have 5 rushing touchdowns. Super accurate, about 75% completion percentage. Sam Houston commit. I believe if this kid was 6'3", 6'4", he would have way more offers.
He'd probably be a top-tier Division I quarterback. We'd probably be seeing him consistently on Saturdays. But his running back, DeAndre Ryden Jr., a kid that is very familiar with the state championship scene, along with his electric receivers, Ethan E.J. Feaster, Antonio Pride, Jakiri Washington, and Dalen Singleton. That's some pretty good targets to hand the ball and throw the ball off to. I'm noticing something about these South Dallas teams. They are electric and fast. It's almost like a certain coach said something about some South Dallas speed just a moment ago.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you ever see these guys running in the spring? They're very dedicated to their track program, and they compete in the regionals and state meets often.
Now looking at the offensive line, of course, massive. That's just the main word you can use to describe it. Byron Washington at left tackle. Ronell McClain, who, coach, has a pretty cool nickname.
Snacks.
How about that? Snacks. Nice and simple.
Good name for O-lineman.
Can't complain about Snacks. Leon Brigham doing the snapping over at center. Dylan Johnson at right guard and Jabraylon Stewart at right tackle. Now let's take a look at the defense that's going to be coming for him pretty much this entire game. The Bulldogs of Summer Creek on defense. Their front four, Chad Woodford, Kyron Duhan, who we'll definitely be hearing a lot from in this game, coach, along with Josiah Pratt and Caleb Walker.
Very good defensive line they have there, led by Jeremy Justice with the Summer Creek Bulldogs. I think they have a total of 54 sacks among the whole defensive unit. They do a great job over there.
Have a plus 25-point differential as a team, so it's fair to say they can hold them off, and they can definitely score. Rounding out the defense, starting with the linebackers, is Xavier Atkins and Leyland Carter, the linebacking core. Durea Green and Colin Irving, the corners. 3 safeties, Quest Simmons, William Hill, and Braden Jones. You have to look at one thing and consider, coach. They held a Galena Park North Shore team who pretty much just went almost to the wire with Duncanville not too many minutes ago. They only allowed 31 points against North Shore on the road, and it was only a 10-point game. Final score ended up being 31-21. So this Summer Creek defense is no slouch at all whatsoever.
No, they are very familiar with North Shore, very familiar with teams like Atascocita right there in their neighborhood. They play very, very good defense. Like I said, they pride themselves in the weight room, pride themselves on discipline, and they're finally getting the results being their first trip to the state championship game tonight.
As the national anthem begins, we will continue our starters after this. you to the Summer Creek Bulldog Band for performing the national anthem for us tonight. Let's continue introducing our starters. Let's switch gears back to DeSoto for the DeSoto Eagle defense. Something that we're very familiar with is fantastic front fours, fantastic defensive fronts, and DeSoto was no different. Keelan Abrams, Marshall Curvin, Jairus Guy, and Jason Douglas, the front defensive lineman for DeSoto. And Coach, I'm beginning to notice a trend here. Big offensive lines and big defensive lines.
Yeah, super athletic in South Dallas. One of the best defensive linemen, I believe he's a junior, Mr. Keelan Abrams. Does a great job getting off the ball, has a great key, whether it's the ball or the offensive tackle, gets off the ball, gets to the quarterback. I believe he had 5 to 6 sacks, broke the school record of sacks for DeSoto, beating out Von Miller.
This Summer Creek offense is definitely going to have their hands full. Linebackers led by Brandon Booker, Jamari Lane, and Andre Wisner. Corners, Mario Buford, Caleb Holmes. As you might have remembered last year, on the Antler Sports Network, as DeSoto took down Mansfield, those two corners can put any receiver in what seems like purgatory. And behind them to round out the secondary, Sail Reyes and Macaulay McKellar, the two safeties. That is the DeSoto defense, Coach. Expect a lot of flying to the football.
Yes, sir. They're going to have to find a way to stop Lloyd Avant from Summer Creek from rushing the football. I believe that's Summer Creek's main threat to DeSoto.
And speaking of that main threat for Summer Creek, let's check out that offense. Led by Avant at running back and also Blake Thomas at quarterback. His receivers, Holden Miller, Jonathan Jones, Cordell Rogers, and Caleb Welsh. This Summer Creek team, out of the Houston area, out of Humble ISD, they play teams like Atascocita. They play the North Shores. So it's fair to say this DeSoto team should not really scare them or frighten them at all. They're used to seeing top-tier talent.
No, not at all, Jared. I think they've been tested either in district or throughout the playoffs, but I believe this speed might be something different for them.
This indeed could be something different. Summer Creek, on the way to the state championship, defeated Pasadena Memorial 48-0 in the bi-district round. Defeated Clear Creek in a creek battle, I guess you can say. Defeated Stratford 55-14 in the regional semis. Fort Bend Hightower 35-31 in an absolute shootout in the regional finals. And then defeated always state-ready Cibolo Steel 38-14 in the state semis. For DeSoto, opening round win against Harker Heights. Then in the area round in an all-DFW battle against Wiley East, defeated the Pirates 42-20. Then in the regional semis, a much-anticipated quarterback matchup against Willis. No problem. Defeated Willis 65-31. In the regional finals, it was a rematch of the Battle of the Belt line. Back on October 20th, DeSoto defeated Cedar Hill 35-13. It's pretty much more of the same in the regional finals of the rematch, defeating the Longhorns 59-16. And finally, the game before this in the state semifinals, the Eagles would take down South Lake Carroll 45-38. So it's fair to say that both teams, Coach, in these playoffs have pretty much ran a gauntlet.
Yeah, well-tested DeSoto, obviously playing Duncanville in district, playing Cedar Hill twice, playing South Lake Carroll. That was probably their best or closest ball game, being 45-38, really going down to the wire.
So this is a battle-tested DeSoto team taking on a hungry Summer Creek team. We always don't really look at the inflatables, but at least I do. We have a massive eagle to our left here at AT&T Stadium as the champs. The Eagles are slowly but surely trotting out of their locker room. We saw their helmet tees on Twitter. It is a Philadelphia Eagles-style helmet, a white helmet with a green and golden eagle along the sides, white tops, and black bottoms as we await to greet the Eagles from DeSoto. Their opponents, Summer Creek, a massive bulldog with Summer Creek in gold and maroon lettering. As we see those Bulldogs coming out of their locker room, all maroon from top to bottom, from helmet to feet, set to possibly take down the 6A Division II defending champions. It's the final game of the 2023-2024 high school football season. We'll have the coin toss and kickoff coming up after this. This has been the Simple Simons pregame show. When we come back, we'll get ready for championship football. From the Antler Sports Network family of platforms, this is the UIL 6A State Championships powered by the Hispanic Texas High School Football Coaches Association.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Coin toss is here at AT&T Stadium. Let's go down to the 50-yard line for head referee Greg Maxwell.
Before I call, I'd like you to tell that young man there, what are you going to call? Looking for a tails, which would be the state. Carry west, flip it, and let it hit. It is a head. You would want to toss. You would like to defer to the second half. Desoto, it's your option you would like to receive, right? Which way would y'all like to kick? Okay, man, turn around, put your back to me, with me. Face that goalpost. Summer Creek. Summer Creek is one to toss. They will receive on this end. Why are you talking? Excuse me. Summer Creek is one to toss. They have deferred to the second half. DeSoto will receive on this end. Good luck and God bless, man.
So, after Maxwell gives the coin toss, you can already hear, Coach, that this is going to get chippy, just like our previous game. No handshakes, pleasant words being shared at midfield.
Plenty of pleasant words.
Plenty. I mean, it's almost like they asked what they wanted each other for Christmas, Coach. Ain't that swell?
No doubt.
I just love
It
camaraderie.
is the giving season.
It is indeed the giving season. So
They gave him some words.
they gave him some words, all right. We're set to go. Summer Creek in the all maroons. White lettering and numerals with a golden trim. Golden white piping along the tops of the shoulders. DeSoto, as I mentioned earlier, the Philadelphia Eagle style white helmet with a green, gold, and black eagle wing along both sides. These Eagles led by head coach Claude Mathis, representing 6A, Region 2, District 11. His opponent, Summer Creek Bulldogs, led by head coach Kenny Harrison, 6A, Region 3, District 21 representees. We're set and ready to kick things off. Brian Mays Jr., the 5'10 junior. Ball is teed up. Receives the ball from the back judge, Mr. Brandon Lee. Back deep to receive for DeSoto. It's going to be number 7, Antonio Pride Jr., and also number 13, Dalen Shingleton.
You got 3 returners back there.
Ball is teed up right in the center of the 40-yard line. We are moments away from the commencement of the final game of the 2023-24 season. And here we go. High end over end kick. Ball is going to be taken by DeSoto about 2 yards deep within the end zone. Going the other way, but it's going to be Shingleton. Shingleton gets knocked down right before he can even get to the 20. Ball will be down at about the 18-yard line. And now Summer Creek's defense has plenty of room to work with as DeSoto comes onto the field for their first drive, 1st and 10.
I'm not sure why he pulled it out. He made it all the way to the lettering on the Cowboys. He could have easily taken a knee, got the ball in 25. Pinned his offense deep.
Taking off only 5 seconds. Now he's at the 18. He didn't even get to the 20. Now for this DeSoto Eagle offense, led by DJ Bailey. Over 3,000 yards through the air, 40 touchdowns, 2 picks. Shotgun snap. Immediately looks into the flat and throws. Has his man and gets out of bounds. Is going to be Singleton on his first catch of the day. Is going to get a solid gain to open up the contest. Will be short. 2nd down. Short gain.
Yeah, just a 2x2 formation, doubles formation, but they're stacked, so it makes it easy for a screen to occur.
There's a gain of 6, making it 2nd and 4. Going to be a handoff right down Main Street and into the mayor's office. DeAndre Ryden had an appointment. The 6', 185-pound junior gets brought down by the Bulldogs' number 21, Quest Simmons. The defensive back doing some dirty work, but not before Ryden can move the chains. 1st and 10 Desoto. Shotgun snap. Getting a move on now. Quick throw to the outside is going to be caught by Pride Jr. Jr. gets to the outside, gets brought down out of bounds, but not before he can knock on midfield. With 11 and a half minutes left to go in the first quarter, DeSoto's offense is already clicking on all cylinders, Coach.
Yeah, they're moving with a little bit of tempo, a little bit of speed. A little hitch screen right there. Moves the chains.
Now 1st and 10, DeSoto and Coach Mathers already back at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a handoff to Ryden, but Ryden is going to be stuffed immediately by a pack of Bulldogs. Helmet flies off. He's going to have to sit out of play, and making the big-time hit and rolling him down is the 6'1 junior defensive tackle, number 99, Josiah Pratt.
Josiah Pratt's a load in the middle. Watch him how he uses hands versus number 70, their guard. Gets off the block, makes a tackle.
He's going to make him lose a yard. Well, excuse me, he'll gain a yard, making it 2nd and 9. They hand off into the check-in back. That's Marvin Duffy. As Duffy gets an open space, he's got room at the 20, 15, 10, 5, goal line. Touchdown, DeSoto.
Duffy's no stranger from playing time. He carried the load while DJ Ryan was hurt during the majority of the year. Comes right in, doesn't miss a beat.
Duffy, 160 carries, 1,400 yards, and 21 touchdowns, and adds on.
There's no foul.
There was a flag that was thrown about the 5-yard line, but as you heard, no flag, 6-0 with 11:06 left to go. And Coach, it's almost like you know what you're talking about. That South Dallas speed strikes once again.
Yeah, Duffy hits the edge right there. No defender right there to make him slow down or help the pursuit to get there. Easy 6 points for DeSoto.
Indeed, an easy 6 points as we await the PAT from Angel Diaz, a 6-footer. The lanky 6-footer. Great snap. No, they fake it. Throw into the end zone. It's in for 2. Jamari Lay into the end zone for 2 more. And DeSoto playing for keeps. 11:06 left to go. Successful 2-point conversion. The first of the day out of all 3 games. With 11:06 left, DeSoto up early as Coach Mathis trots across midfield to speak to his kickoff team. Drive summary more coming up. 8-0. DeSoto with an early lead.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day, interscholastic sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
So, Coach Claude Mathers and company, a little bit of extra flavor to a touchdown with 11:06 left to go on the first. Coach, we got ourselves an 8-0 score. How did DeSoto get there?
5 plays, 82 yards. Duffy caps it off with a 54-yard run out in the open field.
As we get ready for a kickoff once more, pretty much as soon as the game started, DeSoto hits the scoreboard, making it 8-0. That's the man. I'm trying to think the last time we saw a 2-point conversion. That's a gutsy call from Coach Claude Mathis, just getting it going early. Very first time into the end zone, the start of the game. I guess that's one way to go ahead and punch your opponent in the gut early.
Yeah, adds a little salt to the wound right there. You catch the defense sleeping, thinking they're just going to go for the simple extra point, but nope. Adds an extra point to it. Adds the 2-point conversion.
As DeSoto trots back onto the field, doing the honors to kick things off, it's going to be Angel Diaz. We just converted the successful PAT. Back deep to receive for Summer Creek. It's going to be number 10, Trey Brown, as well as number 34, Jaqueline Harvey. 11:06. Both teams, all 3 timeouts. Diaz trots back about 10 yards. The DeSoto kickoff team, some of them in 3-point stances. Some in 4-point. Diaz approaches the football, and we're back and up and underway. Sagging back, anticipating the catch is Brown as it goes into the end zone for a touchback. All right, Coach, if you're Summer Creek, the number 2 team in the state just punched you in the mouth. How do you respond?
You got to respond back with your running game. Give the defense time to make their adjustments. Lloyd Avant has to be able to control the clock, run the ball. It starts with the offensive line. Convert first downs, move the chains.
It also starts with quarterback Blake Thomas, 2,300 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 7 picks on the season. He has Avant to his left. Hard count, claps again, takes a snap, throw, and it's incomplete. Looked like his intended target might have been Trey Brown, but the closest man to the football was a white jersey of number 6, Andre Wisner. Seemed like it was just a little bit of a miscommunication. That incompletion makes it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, the receiver ran a hitch, and I believe he was supposed to run a little bit deeper, or the quarterback just had a miscommunication. Hopefully these lights aren't too big for Summer Creek.
Shotgun snap. Brown's going to throw again. It gets bobbled. DeSoto has the football. DeSoto has the football. They're pushing the other way. Eagles have it, but no. Yes, they do. Brown cocked back and fired almost immediately. It might have hit the back of a defender's head. No, tipping it down was Jamari Lay.
Yeah, defensive line could.
The interception was made and forward progress was stopped. First down.
Defensive line couldn't get the sack. However, they got their hands up, made a critical play right here. Could easily go up 2 scores early in this game.
Kudos to Brandon Booker, the 6'2 linebacker, right place at the right time, securing possession. DeSoto first and 10 from the 23. It's a handoff right up Main Street again for Ryden Jr., the 185-pound junior, running with a purpose already, as Trey Brown playing a little bit of double duty, the freshman is, on the tackle.
Booker with his 3rd interception of the playoffs. 1 versus Cedar Hill, 1 versus South Lake Carroll, 3rd one right now.
It's going to be a handoff to Ryden again. Ryden using his blocks, knocking on the door of the 10. He'll get to about the 14, and that should be a yard short. And that's exactly what they'll mark him. It's going to be 3rd down and 1 more yard to go before this drive can continue. Clock rolling.
Here comes zone.
10-15 left to go. Ryden right
Nobody
up the middle. No one into the end zone. Touchdown DeSoto. And now up 14, barring this PAT. 14-yard touchdown rush for DeAndre Ryden Jr.
Just a simple zone play right there, Jared. Looks like the Summer Creek offensive line shifted, but only 2 shifted. The other 2 did not shift in, so the A-gaps were wide open for Ryden to get in the touchdown.
So, Angel Diaz trots back onto the field for a quote-unquote PAT. We've seen DeSoto already fake it once. Will they fake it twice? No. It'll just be a simple drilled kick through the uprights and good. DeSoto already looking to be in pristine form on the offensive side of the ball. After the turnover, they convert. With 10-11 left to go in the first quarter, it's all Eagles. Eagles soaring high, up 15-0 on Summer Creek. Back in 1 minute. Championship football continues after this.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
DeSoto back on the board again. with 10-11 left to go in the first quarter, up 15-0 over Summer Creek. And Coach, this is exactly what we expected from this DeSoto offense. Absolute domination in the early going, up 15-0 over Summer Creek. And Ryden capping off what was a fantastic drive for the Eagles.
Yeah, a very short field that they got off the interception. 3-play drive, 23 yards, capped off by Tigers. Tigers touchdown right through the A-gap, 14 yards, gives the DeSoto Eagles a 15-point lead early in the ballgame.
DeSoto with already 4 first downs, 6 rushes for 84 yards, already averaging well above 10 rushing yards per game as both teams trot back onto the field. DeSoto ready to kick things off once more. Again, back deep to receive for Summer Creek. It's going to be Trey Brown and Harvey, respectively. Summer Creek, where you see with this kickoff, we go from left to right on your respective device. Diaz waiting to get the ball from the official to kick things back off. Diaz now trots back to his starting point. Turns around at the 30-yard line. The Summer Creek band right below us here at AT&T Stadium. Checks with his Eagles as they're ready to soar. He begins his approach, and we are back off underway again. DeSoto, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. Coming out of the heels of the goal line is Brown. Brown gets to the outside. Ball comes out, but it goes out of bounds at about the 19 or the 18-yard line. I'm assuming Summer Creek is going to keep possession, and they will. First down and 10. And for Summer Creek, Coach, you pointed out one thing about these last couple of possessions at the time that they have the ball, something that was a bit off to you.
Yeah, you have a bell cow running back at number 25, Lloyd Avant. They didn't give him the ball one time on the opening drive. They went for 2 passes, 1 incomplete pass and 1 interception. I expect a heavy dose of 25 right here.
Let's see if that comes to fruition. Blake Thomas in the gun. Has Avant to his right. Flag is thrown. It's a keeper. He gets smacked at about the 20-yard line.
Maybe hands to the face. We got a DeSoto Eagle without a helmet on.
Indeed so, that Eagle is number 90, Jairus Guy.
You had a little bit quarterback counter there. You had a GT. Quarterback keeps it behind the pullers.
Offsides. Number 15 on the defense, lined up in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's one thing when you have a pass rusher like Kiki Abrams. He will try to get every inch that he can get to try to get to the quarterback, and his helmet might have been over the ball right there.
Offsides and neutral zone infraction calls, they've been the talk of the town as of recent. After the penalty, that makes it first down and 5. 9:50 left to go. They hand it to Avant. Avant, his first carry of the game. Ball comes out. It looks like he might have palmed it, but an Eagle fell on it with his back. No, it looks like Avant might have it, and he does. Trying to see who was the first one to get to him or the one that popped the ball out. Looked like that was number 20, Akeem Rassan, the defensive back, the senior.
Yeah, luckily Avant lands right back on it and it doesn't bobble out.
Yeah, he poked the football out, landed on it with his back. Avant quite literally just reached around him and scooped the football back up. It's going to bring up a second down and 3.
Avant here in the pistol formation right behind the quarterback.
Man in motion is going to be Xavier Atkins. That's a handoff to Avant once more. Gets a lead block. Thought he was going to bounce to the outside to his left, but instead goes right up the middle and finds a nest full of Eagles with 8:50 left to go. I don't think he got the first down. He might be short, maybe a yard. And it looks like he will be short as his DeSoto front line leaving absolutely no stone unturned. Multiple Eagles on the tackle.
You got 3rd and 3 right here. DeSoto defensive line crumpled the offensive line of Summer Creek.
Here's 3rd and short with 8.5 left to go. Flag is thrown once more pre-snap. Looks like this is definitely going to be on DeSoto's defensive line again.
False start. Number 56 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
The guard jumped first, causing a 15 to jump as well.
So, No longer facing 3rd and short.
It was 3rd and 7.
Both teams a penalty apiece, both equaling 5 yards. Shotgun snap. They fake it to Avant. Stepping up, now juking, still up alive, and eventually getting brought down is going to be Thomas. As Desoto swarms to Thomas again, and now it's punting time for Summer Creek.
Swarming Eagles right there. You got 44, you got 48, all coming in, and the linebacker getting in on the action on the sack. If you're Summer Creek, you cannot play behind the chains and expect to win this game.
That's Marshall Curvin, and as well as Jason Douglas there on the gang tackle. Now bringing up 4th and 10. Summer Creek looking to punt this football away. Back deep to receive for DeSoto was going to be Antonio Pride Jr. Here to kick things off for Summer Creek is going to be number 15, Brian Mays Jr. Perfect snap, chest high, takes 2 steps, goes into the football now. It crosses midfield, takes a bounce right at midfield, and takes another Summer Creek bounce. It goes the wrong direction, but not before the Bulldogs fall on it. It's going to be down at about the 48-yard line, and DeSoto will take back over 1st down and 10. And DeSoto offense coach that has been firing on all cylinders. 2 drives, 2 times they've had the football, 2 times they've gotten into the end zone.
Yeah, 2 rushing touchdowns. They're going to lean on their rush to set up the deep ball in the passing game.
Well, coach, can you really blame them? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, you don't need to outcoach yourself in this situation.
Not at all, and if there's one thing we know about Coach Claude Mathis, chances are he's going to outcoach you.
There's no doubt.
Coach Mathis, defending state champion. First black coach to win a 6A title. Coach Reginald Samples was the second. They throw, and it's incomplete. That ball was intended for number 18, EJ or Ethan Feaster. Batting it down is going to be Holden Miller. They thought, that wasn't Holden Miller. That was Brian Mays Jr., the punter, coming back onto the field on defense to make the play. DeSoto wanted a pass interference call, but no dice. Results of the incompletion brings up 2nd down and 10. 84 rushing yards for DeSoto. They hand it off to Ryden. Ryden breaks 1 tackle, 2, and gets brought down by a pack of Bulldogs led by number 21, Quest Simmons. Simmons in 2nd tackle of the game. It's going to be a short gain, about a medium 3rd down and around 5 or so to go, barring the official spot. And
Tiger breaks that first tackle, makes it difficult, brings up 3rd and 5.
Man in motion.
Empty formation.
Looking back is Bailey. Bailey, a throw to the flat is complete. 1st down and some extra change. Out of bounds at about the 29-yard line is going to be Antonio Pride. And what a throw from Bailey. Just right into the breadbasket, out of the reach of the defensive back, number 3, Brandon Jones. And now DeSoto rushing back to the line as they face a 1st down and 10. Ball's on the 29-yard line. A handoff to Abrams again. To Ryden again. Ryden gets brought down by number 33 for Summer Creek. That's going to be Kyron Duhan. The first time we've said his name. I expect to see him in a lot more tackles if they want to slow down Ryden. He's going to be the key as we cross 6.5 minutes. 2nd and 7.
Look for a wide receiver screen. They break it out of the stack formation. You got a post route.
Middle of the end zone.
13.
Once more. Touchdown DeSoto. 26-yard touchdown pass is complete to Dalen Singleton. And the Eagles have busted this game wide open. Up 21-0 with 6:18 left to go in the first.
Yeah, that's one of his favorite targets. And Dylan Singleton, SMU commit, 1,000 yards receiving, 14 touchdowns. One of DJ Bailey's favorite targets to hit.
You can see why as DeSoto continues to score. Here's Diaz. Diaz takes a snap. The kick is up. And good. DeSoto flies into the end zone again. With 6:18 left to go in quarter number 1. Summer Creek down big early. DeSoto 22, the Bulldogs nothing. Back after this. Our coverage of the 6A state championships continue after this.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
All Desoto as Diaz gets ready to tee things up and kick back off to the Bulldogs of Summer Creek. We'll have our drive summary in just a moment, as Trey Brown will just let this one bounce into the end zone. And Coach Desoto scores again. I feel like we've said that a couple times already.
3 times to be exact. On the drive summary, DeSoto had 5 plays, 51 yards. Didn't even take a whole minute off the clock. 59-second drive, topped off by a DJ Bailey pass that was accurate to Singleton for 26 yards for the touchdown.
These Eagles averaging 51 points per game throughout regular season and playoff play combined. A plus 32-point differential. We're not even out of the first quarter, and DeSoto is almost halfway to their point per game average. That's just how dynamic this offense has been. First down and 10 for Summer Creek. It's going to be a handoff to the outside to Avant. Avant gets pushed out of bounds right out about the line of scrimmage. With 6 minutes and counting left to go, that's going to be a very minimal gain. No, they're going to say he lost to second down and 12.
They got to get this kid rolling if they want to make it back into the game. Total yards, DeSoto has 156. Summer Creek has -2 at this point.
I'm not a football savant by any stretch of the imagination, nor am I a 6A defensive line coach like you are, but that ain't going to cut it.
It's not good for business.
Not good at all. Pass is intended for number 10, Trey Brown, incomplete. In coverage is Mario Buford. Buford, as we talked about in the pregame, is an absolute ball hawk. Ball's on the 23-yard line with 5:38 left to go. And now if you're Summer Creek, it's interesting in terms of what to call play-wise. Avant has been almost neutralized, dare I say, by this aggressive DeSoto rushing defense. As now they put immediate pressure on the quarterback early. They get it to Avant on the screen, but he isn't going to get far at all. He won't even make it back to the 20. He lost 2 more yards. This DeSoto defense, purgatory. Best way to describe it. Absolute purgatory.
Number 9, the Mike linebacker, Jamari Lay, grabs his ankle, reads the screen really, really well. Doesn't let Avant gain any yardage.
The result of that loss in the late tackle with 5 minutes left to go in the first, is 4th and 15. Ball is at the 20-yard line. Punting time again for Summer Creek. Mays to do the honors. Back deep to receive is going to be Pride. Pride calls for a fair catch at about the 45. Catches it right in front of him to try to spook him was Blake Thomas, but unsuccessful on that front. First down and 10 again for DeSoto, up 22-0. 4:47 left to go in the first quarter.
Summer Creek's defense has to create an answer, have to stop the running game and lock down the passing game. That previous drive, DeSoto ran the ball a little bit with a little bit of success, opened up the passing game just enough.
Question is, how much more time does Summer Creek have to keep this thing close? Deep ball for Bailey. Got it! Touchdown, DeSoto again! DJ Bailey, the Wizard! Touchdown caught by Singleton again!
Singleton catches that ball in stride. Awesome job by DJ Bailey, hitting him right in the hands.
DJ Bailey does it again!
Bearcats are going to get a good one out of him.
Indeed they will, Coach. 4:40 left to go. And DeSoto U is feeling it in Jerry World. Diaz awaiting the PAT with 4:40 left to go. The kick sky high through the uprights and good. Oh my, DeSoto continues. The scoring onslaught just doesn't seem to stop. Our new score after the PAT, DeSoto 29, Summer Creek nothing. Back in 1 minute as the UIL Football Championships on the Antler Sports Network continues. After the DeSoto touchdown, Diaz will kick things off yet again. And it's going to be a fake reverse. Keeping it is going to be Brown. Brown trying to get to the 20, and he might have gotten there. No, they'll call him at the 19. So, Coach, Singleton caps off with his second touchdown tonight. I don't even want to call this a drive summary. Can we call it a walk or a stroll or a jog summary? A nice leisurely drive summary? How about that?
Almost just turn on the jet summary where it's one play, 55 yards, 7 seconds off the clock.
The benefit of that is, even though Summer Creek is down 29-0, at least DeSoto has been scoring quickly. The opposite side of the coin is Summer Creek just has to move the football. They have to get Avant going as a handoff to him, and DeSoto is there immediately. That's going to be a gain of 3. Tackle initially made by DeSoto's number 90, Jairus Guy Jr., the 280-pounder, and tandem number 15, Keelan Abrams. It's pretty much just shut Avant down, not the guy that we've seen throughout this season.
Yeah, they're running a little bit more gap scheme. Usually when you're going against a better defensive line than you have on offensive line, you're going to use a little bit of gap scheme to try to create those seams.
Empty backfield now. Thomas drops back. Flag is thrown.
I think somebody got an extra jump on that one.
Let's head down to the field. Take a listen to the call.
False start. Number 76 on the offense. 15-yard, 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Thank you to our head referee, Greg Maxwell, for tonight's game. For the call. And man, Summer Creek just has to get something going, and they have to do it fast.
When it rains, it pours.
Indeed, it does. The area saw some rain last night. It seems that even indoors, it could rain a little bit when the Eagles are in town. Shotgun snap. It's going to be a keeper. There's Blake Thomas with it. Thomas gets wrestled down and around the 20. Tackle made by Brandon Booker.
Who else?
Indeed, who else? He's already put his mark on this game early.
Yeah, talking to Coach Beatty from DeSoto, he was one of the most intellectual linebackers that they got. He's an SMU commit. Lockdown's his responsibility. And he's also a captain for the DeSoto Eagles.
Great tackle, bringing up a 3rd and 8 with 3:13 and counting. Left to go in quarter number 1 of the 6A Division II state championship. If you're just now tuning in, it's been all DeSoto. Blake Thomas in at quarterback now. Dropping back, pressured, rolls out to his right, has room, winds up, throws, going to be a flag, and yes it is. That's going to move the sticks. First down. As Welsh was the intended target. Looks like they're going to whack that on Jalen Jones. Man.
Be the first down for Summer Creek, I believe.
I believe so as well.
Looks like the DB and the receiver just tripped up legs.
Pass interference. Number 11 on defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Summer Creek gets bailed out of a 3rd and long.
That's Caleb Holmes. They're going to call that penalty on. And that'll move the chains. First down and 10, Summer Creek, Coach, as you just mentioned. Well, I guess you just get it however you can. Whether it be a penalty, rushing, or passing, just move the chains, get your offense going somehow.
When you play tight coverage, it's one of the risks you take.
Here's 1st and 10 for Thomas and company. They hand out to Avant. Avant trying to turn the corner, but is going to get down at about the 35-yard line for a short gain. If any gain at all, tackle is going to be made by Sahil Reyes. And that's going to bring up maybe 2nd down and 10. No, they're going to say he lost one. 2nd and 11. Avant just hasn't been able to get anything going today, Coach.
Yeah, he's been trying to go up the middle. He's trying to go to the edges. Neither's available. This is very disheartening from Summer Creek's aspect because it was one of the keys of the game. They got to get this guy. They got to get this kid going. And if he doesn't go, it's going to be a long night.
Clock is rolling. 2:15 left in the first. Thomas drops back, looking to his right. Pass was intended for Avant. Avant tried to haul it in with one hand. Tight coverage there by Reyes once more for DeSoto. And that incompletion brings up 3rd and long.
That quarterback's clock is ticking. Kiki Abrams, number 15 at the defensive end, the left defensive end for DeSoto, is like a heat-seeking missile trying to get after that quarterback.
Wasting absolutely no time, wreaking havoc on Thomas and that Summer Creek backfield. With 2:10, here's 3rd and 11. Thomas looking, runs to his left, jukes, head dives first, and it's tackled and immediately scolded by Reyes once more. Reyes has been all over the field in the early goings, Coach. That short gain makes it 4th and 9 at punt time for Summer Creek.
Yeah, they run a quarterback counter right there. Quarterback gains 2 yards, not enough on a 3rd and 11 play.
This first quarter, absolutely flown by. We're already sitting at 1:40 remaining. Back to punt once more is Mays. Stalking his prey, his pride, looking to receive. Calls fair catch immediately. Heels on the 30. Now takes a couple steps back to around the 28. And that's where Desoto will take back over 1st down and 10. Now, Coach, we know you're a very detail-oriented guy. The defensive line is always a point of concern for any team, whether you have a good one or a bad one. So we know you're very picky. If you're looking at Desoto's offense, let's start with them. What do you think they can improve on or fix? Let's see how picky you can get here.
How picky I can get? I would continue running the ball right here. Keep getting Tiger written more touches because he's the best player, I believe, on the offense next to DJ Bailey. I believe the more you lean on Summer Creek, the more tired they're going to get, and you'll be in complete control of the ball game.
So looks like we have a pre-snap penalty.
5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
5-yard false start penalty called against Desoto.
Running that ball is going to continue opening up passing lanes for you.
This is one of the few times that Desoto's offense has stepped back, Coach. And that doesn't include progressions by the quarterback, DJ Bailey. As Bailey tries to pitch it, with it is Trawick. As Trawick gets the ball scooped up by Summer Creek, that's going to be Caleb Walker on the ball. And they have it, and the Bulldogs will take over 1st and goal at about the 1.
A running back swing route right there. I believe they called it as a lateral since he threw it behind the quarterback. Bobbles the ball, number 8.
That's Trawick. And immediately laying the hit stick is Caleb Walker, the 6'3 senior. Right place, right time. Picked up the ball with one hand, scoop, and the touchdown-saving tackle made by Desoto's Braylon Stewart.
Very athletic play by number 11, Walker, one of the seniors, I believe. As he can knock the running back out of position to recover the fumble, picks up the fumble with one hand, and continues to progress the ball forward.
Thomas gets it to Avant. Avant pushes into the end zone. Waiting on the signal, yes. Summer Creek on the board. 6-yard touchdown rush from Avant. And the Bulldogs showing life now, Coach.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for anything more than that right there. Recovery off the backwards pass and handing it off to your board cow, your bell cow, your number 25, Lloyd Avant.
Averaging 148 rushing yards per game, 30 touchdowns on the year. Maybe this could be what gets things going. You know, they say is sometimes like an old Cadillac. You got to give it a minute to start up. Maybe this is the extra turn of the key that Summer Creek needed to possibly get back into this game.
Just the spark they needed.
Indeed it could be, as Mays puts his boot into this one.
It's good. And
it's through the uprights. After the 6-yard Avant touchdown, Summer Creek back in this thing. With 1:09 left to go in the first quarter, they hit the board, but still down big. Eagles 29, Summer Creek 7, back in 1 minute. Our coverage of the 6A UIL State Championships continue after this. after the 6-yard touchdown rush. Coach, that's pretty much the entirety of the drive summary. This might be the shortest drive summary we've seen all week long as Desoto goes the other way, receiving the kickoff. Now getting with a burst of speed and open field is going to be Jakari Washington. Washington, ball comes out. Don't know if he was down or not. Officials will mark him down at around the 35. Oh, Coach, this could get a bit awkward. Don't know if they'll take this one to review.
I don't know if they'll take it to review. Shoelace tackle right there by the kickoff team. Swipes his foot, trips him up. Looks like he was down.
Jakari Washington, the ball carrier. Cleaning up was Marvin Duffy, who got the scoring going. Now DeSoto will take back over 1st and 10 with less than a minute left to go. Bailey delayed a handoff to the previously aforementioned Duffy, and Duffy gets walloped behind the line of scrimmage. Tackle is going to be made by Summer Creek's number 33, Kyron Duhan, and Duhan his second tackle of the game. Slowly but surely putting his mark on this defense for Summer Creek.
Maybe the lights were a little big early to start the game, but it looks like they're settling in.
Bailey throws to the outside into the hands of Tristan Bailey, and Bailey, solid pickup there. But if you're Summer Creek, you have to start to believe in your defense. Duhan, 70 tackles, 40 of those solo, 21 TFLs. An absolute monster for the Summer Creek Bulldog defense. Now a big 3rd and 10 for the Maroon and Gold.
Doubles formation, fakes the handoff.
Bailey gonna go deep
Wide
again,
open.
has a man, it's
Who else?
Singleton down the sideline, touchdown with no time left on the clock. Singleton has been a one-man wrecking crew for the DeSoto offense as Bailey does it again.
3rd touchdown for that young man.
What a game. What a moment for the junior. Coach, as you said, his 3rd touchdown of the evening. As Diaz prepares for the PAT. This DeSoto offense, Coach, one word, unstoppable. Man.
It's a battle of pick your poison. You're going to stop the run or you're going to stop the pass. I don't believe the Summer Creek corners are as fast as the DeSoto receivers, creating the mismatch. And you got to pick where you're going to put your safeties, in run help or in pass coverage. Right there, number 12, unfortunately, gets burned by number 13.
Mr. Singleton does it again. 36-7, our score. Back in 1 minute, our coverage of the 6A UIL State Championships continue after this.
Doink.
Into the first quarter, as we begin the second quarter of play, fresh 12 minutes are on the clock. It has been all DeSoto. Jared Jones, Coach U, here for the 6A Division II State Championship, powered by the Hispanic Texas High School Football Coaches Association. And Coach, that last drive for DeSoto, pretty much like every drive they've had so far, it's about as quick as my last relationship.
Oh, Lord. DeSoto, 3 plays, 52 yards, scores in less than a minute.
Man, 36-7. DeSoto has turned this football game into a track meet. But there's no track here at AT&T Stadium. Only a track to a championship, and it's fair to say that DeSoto is well on their way there. 8 first downs compared to Summer Creek's 1. 10 rushes for 69 yards as a ball club, 7 receptions, 176 yards. Man, it has been all Eagles in this one. Haven't even punted the football yet. And it's fair to say that Summer Creek has held the ball a lot longer. Time of possession discrepancy in favor of Summer Creek. Have had the ball for 7 minutes and 53 seconds. DeSoto only 4 minutes and 7 seconds. But another good thing to look at, DeSoto is a perfect 3 for 3 on third down.
Yeah, if they continue moving the chains, giving themselves more opportunities to create these explosive plays.
Coach, as you said earlier, 3 plays, 52 yards, less than a minute. It's like they're trying to compete amongst themselves as to how quickly they can score the football. And if that is true, things could get scary here at AT&T Stadium. Diaz trotting back to prepare for the kickoff.
One of the scary things about DeSoto is that they're working to work towards back-to-back championships, and they're about to be moved down to 5A after the next realignment due to numbers.
Indeed, that could be very scary for 5A. On the return is going to be Brown. Brown gets brought down at about the 32-yard line. That's the best starting position that Summer Creek has had all game long. Just trying to grasp at the positives here, as Brown will stay on the field for offense. And now if you're Summer Creek, just take anything you can get, whether that be throwing the football or running the football, because it's clear that DeSoto was going to crack down on Lloyd Avant's rushing attack. And it's clear that they have the speed and the agility in their secondary to defend the pass.
Yeah, if you're Summer Creek's offense, you're frustrated because you can't run the zone, you can't run your gap scheme, you can't run getting out wide. Too much speed on the field for him to be able to gain yardage.
As they pitch to Avant to the left side is only going to gain around 3 and make it 2nd down and 7. Check that, make it 2nd down and 6 after the official spot. A little bit of extra handsiness there as Andre Wisner for DeSoto and Cordell Rogers, the tight end, get a bit handsy, but no flag there. It's a handoff to Avant once more, and Avant might have lost a yard.
Yeah, 48, Jason Douglas on the tackle right there, defensive end. You could just see the interior of the D-line working the offensive line. It's just a complete mismatch, Jared.
Avant gained a yard on that. They'll mark him 3rd and 5. Ball's on the 37-yard line. We've played about 2 minutes in the second quarter. Both teams all 3 timeouts. DeSoto's offensive line shifting. Great jump there by the DeSoto D-line. Throw and is incomplete, right out of the reach of the intended target, number 8, Cordell Rogers. Once again, the tight end is a big target. Rogers is standing at 6'3" tall. Just not able to get it to him was Blake Thomas.
He was one of Blake Thomas's favorite targets, number 8, like you said, Cordell Rogers, 900 yards receiving, 13 receiving touchdowns, averages about 16 yards a catch. You got to make that play to convert.
Indeed you do. Now another 4 and out for Summer Creek as they face down as they look down the barrel of a 4th and 5. Kick is a high arcing kick, not a lot of distance. It's going to be fair caught. And it looks like we have a bit of a scuffle on the right side of the field. Don't know what in the world that was. All I saw was Caleb Walker was standing at the 30 and eventually got ran off by a couple of Eagles, or getting chased by number 20, Akeem Rasan. I don't know what just happened, Coach. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think the game might get a little chippy. I hope Summer Creek keeps their composure, works their way back into the game.
Because as we saw in that previous game, even when Duncanville seemed to have put North Shore away, North Shore was just a couple of seconds away from getting back into the contest. Even the final score, it was a close game.
Yeah, I mean, the score might not be indicative of that, but they continue to fight, they continue to work, they continue to make plays down the field. They just didn't quit.
Now we get ready to prepare for a 1st and 10 with 10:39 left to go in the first half of play. Be sure to tune in to ASN2 on Tuesday for NAIA hoops action. It's a top 5 contest from the Sid Richardson Center in Fort Worth on the campus of Texas Wesleyan, as the second-ranked Lions from Langston, Oklahoma, travel to take on the Pilots of LSU Shreveport. when the latest NAIA rankings that came out on Monday ranked 4th. Pre-game coverage from Funky Town right around the corner here in the DFW will be at 1:30 p.m. Central on ASN2 and antlersn.com/watch. Myself and Jimmy Christopher will be on the call. Tip-off from the SID at 2 p.m. Going to be a handoff, this time to Jaden Trawick, who'll be checking in at running back. He might be getting a couple of carries, and he'll gain 5, make it 2nd down and short.
Little G play right there. Center blocks back, guard wraps around. Running back did a good job following the puller into the gap, into the hole. Gain of 5.
10-18, clock rolling. It's going to be a keeper. Juking, it's going to be Bailey, as Bailey gets brought down by Summer Creek's Jashawn Johnson.
Zone read right there. Bailey not afraid to rush the ball, about 300 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns, much more lethal through the air.
It's going to be a 3rd down and about 1 yard.
Runs that zone read to keep the defense honest, so they have to have a quarterback player out there so they cannot add on to stop the run for the running back.
Trawick is going to be short on that last run. 4th down and maybe the length of the football. Bailey trying to make him jump, but no dice. Summer Creek staying disciplined up front.
Shift the formation. They're going from a trips bunch set to a 2x2 formation. You got Singleton on the right side of the formation.
Here's Bailey. It's going to be a handoff to Trawick yet again. Trawick juking, pushing forward. He definitely got the 1st down. He's going to get a couple of more yards. Not really a full tush push, but the initial shove was made by the big 6'7", 340-pound junior Byron Washington. And it's fair to say if you need an extra yard and he comes up and pushes you, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get that extra yard. Move the chains, 1st down to Desoto.
Yeah, a big wall of humanity right there.
Pass one. Bailey is caught into the flat. 1st down and more. Pass is hauled in by Antonio Pride Jr. Move the chains again as Bailey pretty much picture perfect throwing the football in the early goings of this game. A couple of the Bulldogs on the tackle, led by number 3, Brandon Jones, and also number 21, Quest Simmons. Simmons, his 3rd tackle of the game. 1st and 10, quick snap, and it's going to be a handoff right up the middle to Trawick. Trawick pushing through. He's going to get an extra push by one of his teammates. Tackles made by Summer Creek's number 24, Jalen Carter, one of the captains on this Summer Creek defense. And now the defense for the Bulldogs, a chance to breathe. 2nd and 4. Snap again. The hand up to Trawick. Trawick with a burst to get to the 30-yard line. Thought he had some open space, but still have to settle for a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, that gap opened up. They ran split zone. The stiffer back worked across the formation, kicked out. There's a huge gap for him to go. Tackled by his ankle right there, looks like.
And it looks like Summer Creek is going to take a timeout and talk things over. And as they do, we'll do the same and give our sponsors a chance at a message. Back in 30 seconds, it's all Desoto as the Eagles are marching down the field up 36-7 with 8:45 left to go in quarter number 2. Our coverage of the UIL state championships continue after this.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Summer Creek taking a second to talk things over. They come back onto the field and get ready to face an Eagles 1st down and 10. Balls on the 28-yard line with 8:45 left to go in the 1st quarter. Coach U, Jared Jones, up high in the radio booths of AT&T Stadium as the players go back to their sidelines. Wonder what happened now. I don't know if they called a
TV timeout.
Maybe so. I don't know why they called a TV timeout right after Summer Creek called their first timeout, but we'll take another timeout with them. Back in 30 more seconds. Our coverage continues after this. South Oak Cliff fans still in attendance supporting their DFW brethren. Duncanville already tying up the series 1-1. Now DeSoto, even though it's still early, already averaging over 11 yards of play. They have 193 yards through the air and 96 on the ground. So it's looking like they will continue the DFW championship streak. Looks like it's going to be a possible flag. No, thought it was going to be a false start penalty, but instead it's going to be a first down, Coach, unless you see any flags, as I don't.
I don't see any flags. I thought they threw one in there off the hard count. I don't know. No. Very weird play.
Very weird indeed. Otherwise, it's going to be 8.5 minutes, first down and 10 from the 18. Going to be a handoff. Stutter step. It's going to be Rawrick. Excuse me, that's going to be number 8, Trawick.
Trawick, yep.
There's pronunciation there, but either way, short gain.
Sniffer inserts into the formation, causes the lead. Looks like there's a penalty right here.
Number 76 on the offense. 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Not the best news in the world if you're DeSoto, but the way that your offense has been clicking, you probably aren't too upset about one little penalty, especially this deep in Summer Creek territory.
Just more room to operate for DeSoto.
Now 1st and 20 for the Eagles after the flag. Bailey drops back, rolls to his left, getting double team, falls away and throws incomplete. That pass intended for DeSoto's number 18, Ethan Feaster. Haven't really seen him targeted that much, and it was a great job on the left side of the Summer Creek pressure. First one to get to him for the Bulldogs, at least from my eye, is going to be number 95, Jaquaylin Weibly, the 5'11 freshman defensive tackle. Got to him right on time, didn't give Bailey a clear shot downfield.
Yeah, number 99 got there, and number 11 was the edge protection.
Here's Bailey. It's a handoff to Ryden, who checks back into the game for Trawick, and is going to get a short gain as we get ready to hit the 8-minute mark. Now this is going to be interesting. Ryden back into the game. Don't know if he's subbed out just to give Trawick some extra run.
I think they just have a three-headed monster between Trawick, Duffy, and Tiger right here. Keeping all three backs fresh.
Can't really blame them. DeSoto 3 and 4. 3 out of 4 successful attempts on third down. We're going to go 4 for 5, and they will. Staying in bounds. Tony Toot-Tap pass is complete to Feaster. Feaster along the sideline. Will they say it's a complete pass, or I don't know.
I believe it's a complete pass.
But he will be short.
Yeah, we'll definitely be short. 4th and 8, 4th and 9.
7:39 left to go. Feaster did go out of bounds. Looks like it was going to be field goal time as Angel Diaz trots back onto the field.
Well, that's a win for Summer Creek after how many points they've been giving up.
Definitely so.
Feaster stays in bound right there. He possibly has enough space to convert or even make it close.
33-yard field goal try on the way from Diaz. Flies through the uprights and good. The Summer Creek defense holds and makes DeSoto settle for 3. However, with 7:34 left to go, it's still all Eagles. 39-7. Back after this. Our coverage of the UIL 6A State Championships continues after this timeout. 39-7 after the Diaz field goal. 7 minutes and 34 seconds remain in this second quarter. And Coach, something that we haven't seen this game, Summer Creek's defense holding firm and forcing DeSoto to take 3.
Yeah, they actually forced them to make them drive down the field. They have a 12-yard plays on that drive, gaining 56 yards, taking 3 minutes off the clock. Settling for 3 is a win for Summer Creek right there. One thing that Summer Creek has been good at this year is creating turnovers. They need to keep trying to create turnovers from this team to get back in the ballgame.
That 33-yard field goal from Diaz, his first field goal of the day. DeSoto has had the ball 7 times. They've scored 6 times. The Eagles' offense in pristine form. As we're just over 7.5 minutes left to go. Diaz, after hitting that field goal, gets the okay from both sides of the Eagle kickoff defense team. Ball is soaring through the domed, can't say sky, of AT&T Stadium. Going the other way is going to be Brown, and Brown is tripped up before he can even get to the 20. On the tackle is going to be Maddox Contreras, the senior defensive back, on the hit. And you would think eventually, just to try to get any kind of extra field position, that Summer Creek would just let the ball bounce to the end zone and try to get to the 25. At least that's something.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the thought process is. I know the ball wasn't exactly going into the end zone, but he could have got out the way, I believe, and got the free 25.
You never know. 25 can go a long way. Like they say, all 4 quarters is $1. 7:29 left to go in the second quarter. Ball's on the 18-yard line, the Summer Creek 18-yard line. The Bulldogs going from right to left on your respective device. In the shotgun, it's going to be Thomas. Thomas, hand off to Avant. Avant dragging multiple Eagles forward. And this is the Avant that we know and have come to appreciate on the tackle. Trying to drag him down was Mario Buford. But Buford took a trip to the concession stand with Avant. And that's going to be a fantastic run on first down. Gain of 9, Coach.
Yeah, you can't tackle that kid up high. He's way too strong. He ran his feet. Complete mismatch with that kid versus the corner.
After the Avant run, 7 minutes left, 2nd and 1. Looking, it's Thomas. Thomas steps up, going downfield on the sideline at midfield, jukes out of bounds at about the 49-yard line, and that's a pretty good gain. Crosses into DeSoto territory where the fresh set of downs. First down, Summer Creek.
Yeah, they had a very big pass rush from both defensive ends. Defensive tackles didn't stay at home, open up a scramble lane for the quarterback. 2 positive plays for Summer Creek.
Indeed it is. That's how you start to build some extra momentum.
Here we go. We got trips into the boundary right here.
Summer Creek averaging 38 points per game. Point differential of plus 25 on the season. It's going to be a possible option, and it's going to be a keeper. Keeper for Thomas. Thomas with a lane. Jumps, gets to the 40-yard line. Just short. It's going to be a heck of a gain. Gain of 7, making it 2nd down and 3.
Having a quarterback that's mobile is definitely a plus in the run game. Got to account for him.
Scratch that. They're going to call it 2nd and 2. On the ground, the Bulldogs averaging 237 yards per game. Hand out to Avant. Avant jukes to his left, but isn't going to get very far. Once again, multiple Eagles on the hit. This DeSoto defense, I don't think they've made one actual solo tackle, at least non-stat-wise, this game. Credit that to Jason Douglas.
Just running zone read. Not Xavier Atkins. Lloyd Avant runs right into a wall of Eagles.
5:50. Clock is rolling. Play clock is at 17.
3rd and 1.
Thomas puts a man in motion. Shotgun snap. Looking. Takes a shot downfield. Got a man incomplete. That pass was intended for Cordell Rogers, the 6'3" tight end. A little bit too much mustard on that one, and that incompletion will bring up 4th and 1.
Yeah, if Cordell runs full speed right there, he might make the catch. I think he turned around too soon. Looks like they're moving into a heavy package right here, adding an extra offensive lineman.
And you would think that they try to get to him more, as he was defended by a 5'9", 175-pound Andre Wisner. That was number 6. And Avant, not really what we're used to seeing. 10 rushes for 23 yards.
Wisner labeled as one of the most athletic kids on the defense.
In this drive alone, they've already surpassed the amount that they've gotten to their first 4 drives. 63 in comparison to 23. Flag is thrown, and it's going to be a first down by Avant, but will that stand? That's the penultimate question, as we await the call from the referee, Greg Maxwell. As now Maxwell runs over to speak to his head linesman, James Maines. And now he's getting greeted by the umpire, Melvin Ross. It looks like we finally have the call. At least we think we do. No, they're going back to talk about something else.
Offsides on the defense, number 48. Be a 5-yard penalty will result in a first down.
48, helmets over the ball.
Yep, right over the football. Perfect view by the sideline camera. As Avant's first down will stand. Fresh set of downs for Summer Creek. 5th penalty against Desoto. 5.5 minutes left to go. Avant hesitates, stutter steps, but that gives Andre Wisner, the defensive back, just enough time to initiate that blitz, grab him by the ankles, and bring him down for a loss of 3. 2nd down and 13 for Summer Creek.
Summer Creek running counter right there. Both sides were filled. He tried to bounce the ball outside. No action, no play for him.
Nothing at all, no dice, as we hit the 5-minute mark in this first quarter, in this first half. .540, 4 minutes and 50 seconds left now. Desoto, another great jump off the line. Rolling out is Thomas. Thomas has some open field, directing traffic, gets a block, gets to the original line of scrimmage, so that'll be about a gain of 3. Soto wanting a flag for a block in the back, but Thomas, great patience there. Even though it was only 3, it was a well-deserved 3 yards. Great patience there by the quarterback.
Make something out of nothing.
3rd and 11, now facing Summer Creek. With 4:39, as Thomas did go out of bounds. As Avant as his lone back. 3 out wide in a slot. Immediately pressure. Steps back. Gets driven almost to midfield. Into the backfield again for DeSoto. Marvin Curvin, the 5'10", 265-pound junior, gets into the backfield and now forces a 4th and 20.
So complete rush right there by the whole D-line. 15 gets a good jump, gets the quarterback to step up in the pocket, and then 44, Curvin, labeled as the bulldog in the middle, gets the sack.
Now punt time once again for Summer Creek.
Talking to their defensive coordinator, said that kid used to be a running back.
Good night, nurse. Could you only imagine?
I like my defensive line athletic, not going to lie.
3:50 left to go in the second quarter. High snap to Mays. Mays gets it off. Almost swatted down by an Eagle defender. This takes a great bounce. Can they save it?
No.
And no, it'll be a touchback. However, kudos to the effort by Summer Creek's Kai Bonner. Bonner was just a good half second away from getting it at the 1. Tried to tip it behind him and attempt to save it, but looked like it hit his ankle. Goes in the back of the end zone for a touchback.
He's got to swat that back away from the end zone.
Desoto heading back onto the field. Was initially founded as the Salem School and Church in the early 1950s. They first fielded a football team back in 1917. Here's 1st and 10. Run again for the Eagles. Going to get a pretty solid gain. The carry by Duffy is going to be halted by Pratt once more. Pratt, that's a nasty dude. 6'1" junior playing defensive tackle.
Strong physical kid in the middle. Has been in the backfield quite a bit for Summer Creek.
Indeed he has, with 3:10 left to go. Man in motion, faking the handoff. Bailey strike across the middle. He's got his man. That's Pride again. Pride to get to the 40-yard line. He's going to get brought down by Jalen Carter. Move the chains. First down at DeSoto.
There's an injury timeout on the field.
Bulldog down.
It seems that Summer Creek does indeed have an injured player. As on the big screen, we're taking another look at that last throw from Pride. Well, to Pride from Bailey. And Bailey throwing the ball about as good as you're going to get. 11 for 13, over 250 yards already. Well, 233 yards to be exact. 84% completion. 3 touchdowns, his longest throw from 55 yards out. Bailey, again, a fantastic game. His QBR is off the charts, 311.3, as it seems that the injured Bulldog, number 20, William Hill, jogs off the field, thankfully, under his own power. So play will resume after the completion and first down from Pride with 3:05 left to go as we await for the clock to roll once more, unless they say we went out of bounds with forward progress.
Interesting formation. They come out in split backs right here, 14 being their tight end, and then 27 being the running back.
They try to get it to Pride yet again. Was it behind the quarterback? And no, they say it was just an incomplete pass. It's second down and 10.
With those formations, when they come out with a tight end, it's kind of obvious who's going to get the ball.
Well, the way that Pride has played and the breakneck speed that he's shown, I feel like even if Summer Creek knows exactly what it is, they'll still have an interesting time trying to stop it as they hit Pride again. First down, move the chains.
There's a sit route right there on the sideline.
Pride targeted 3 straight times, moves the chains, 4 more downs for DeSoto. As the clock continues to roll. Shotgun snap. It's a handoff to Duffy. Duffy pushing at the 40, dragging 2 Bulldogs with him. And now that brings up second down and short after the gain of around 5 or so.
Massive surge by the DeSoto offensive line to create running lanes.
The Eagles rushing back to the line. Bailey looking. Has his man in the flat. It's going to be Singleton. Singleton at the 30, dragging 3 Bulldogs with him as he knocks on the door of the red zone. Gets to the 20, but there is a flag back at around the 20.
And you got an injured DeSoto Eagle. Singleton's grabbing his ankle, pointing at his ankle.
Singleton.
Number 14 on the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat third down.
This could be detrimental.
Should be second down, correct?
Not too sure, but Singleton, the junior, has already had a whale of a game. 5 catches for 136 yards and 3 touchdowns as Singleton hops back up with assistance. Hopefully he is okay. He's standing at about the 25-yard line with 2:14 remaining in the second quarter. And he is getting helped off of the field. Not hopping like he was just a second ago. Seems to be gingerly walking, now jogging. This kid is an absolute trooper. Now DeSoto's offense trots back onto the field after the penalty. It's going to be second down and 12.
After the holding.
Singleton, as I mentioned earlier, on the sideline getting treated. 5 receptions for 136 yards and 3 touchdowns. Here's Bailey. Bailey, late handoff. It's a handoff to Duffy. Duffy has open space and gets knocked on his side. Gets about the 35-yard line, but pops right back up. Exactly what the doctor ordered.
Tempo here by DeSoto.
First down and 10. Same play. Duffy on the outside. Duffy with a lane. Gets spun down, alligator rolled, but out before he gains about 7.
Yeah, Summer Creek wasn't ready. They blow the whistle, and DeSoto snaps the ball immediately. Free yardage right there. 14 with a good block, just enough on 21.
That block by Tristan Bailey, the receiver.
Brother of the quarterback.
They're going to hand off this time to Ryden. Ryden breaks into the open field, gets brought down, tackle made by William Hill. He's checking back in after being hurt not too long ago. He seems to be okay. And Ryden back into this game. First snap he's taken in a while. and already making an impact. It's first and goal from the 7. Hand off to Duffy. Duffy fights through, gets a couple of yards, going to get brought down at about the 2. Going to make it second and goal from gain of 5, make it second and goal from around the 2.
Snaps the ball again quick, 2nd and 3.
That's going to be
same
short.
formation, same play.
And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. As we've crossed within a minute, it's 3rd and goal. 50 seconds left. Pretty much on the half-yard line. It's going to be a keeper, and waltzing its way into the end zone is DJ Bailey as DeSoto gets on the board again.
The senior gets his touchdown rushing.
Has a touchdown passing. What's next? They're going to put him back deep to receive, maybe get a kickoff return for a touchdown. I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe a trick play. Send the senior out with some style.
I could definitely see Coach Mathis going for something like that. As Diaz gets ready for the PAT with 46 seconds left. DeSoto almost at the half-century mark before the halftime break. Snap the hold, great hold by DJ Bailey, and the kick is good. The lead expands once more for DeSoto. After Bailey's 5th touchdown of the night, 46 seconds left. DeSoto 45. Summer Creek 7. Back after this. This is our coverage of the UIL 6A State Championships. .46 seconds remain in this second quarter. And pretty much since the word go, we've seen much of the same from this DeSoto offense, Coach. Absolute domination.
Yeah, 12 plays on that last drive for 80 yards. Capped off by DJ Bailey's rush right up the middle for 1 yard to cap off the drive for a touchdown.
As Diaz gets ready to kick things back up, be sure to stay with us here at halftime. We'll again hear from Hispanic Texas High School Football Coaches Association President and former Spring ISD AD Armando Jacinto. As Thomas's return won't get too far. Now 39 seconds left to go in the first half. As now with that last touchdown, DeSoto has scored on 7 of their 8 drives today. A well-oiled machine this Eagle offense has been today. Summer Creek, not much of the same to say about them. Only 7 points, haven't been able to get their running back and star Lloyd Avant going in the backfield. Thomas has been making things happen with his legs. He's unable to get into the end zone. It's going to be a handout to Avant, and here is exactly what has happened pretty much this entire game. Keelan Key Abrams has the keys to this Summer Creek offense, getting another TFL.
There's a reason why he's one of the top recruited defensive ends in the state. His stock continues to rise.
79 tackles, 37 solos, 15 TFLs for him. And now Summer Creek facing second down and 15 or 14 will just let this clock run out, lick their wounds, and go into the locker room to talk things over. We play 2 quarters of football here at AT&T Stadium, and right now DeSoto is looking poised to become back-to-back champions. But that's why we play the game, ladies and gentlemen. At the half, DeSoto 46, Summer Creek 7. Here is another look at my talk with President Armando Jacinto in our Hispanic Texas High School Football Coaches Association member spotlight.
Here at halftime in Game 1 of our 6A State Championship doubleheader here on the Antler Sports Network and ASN Radio, courtesy of the Hispanic Texas High School Football Coaches Association, proud affiliates of the Antler Sports Network. And with us is the president of the Coaches Association, former Spring ISD athletic director, recent retiree, and a man I consider to be a great friend of mine, Coach Armando Jacinto. Coach, how's retirement life been treating you? To go any fishing? How many fishing trips have you been on?
No, I'm not a big outdoors guy. Even though I've been spending most of my time outdoors coaching and throughout my athletic, coaching career. But been to a lot of games by way of some people from past people that I've coached and been able to take advantage of those opportunities that afforded them that they're affording to me that I hadn't been able to in the past due to work. So I've been to, quite a couple of Cowboy games, went to Astro games, Ranger games, went to see LSU play, and been to Vegas. So also spending more time with my wife because all my kids are gone. I mean, they're gone. They're out the house. So, but also with family. But spending a lot more time doing these things with my wife that we didn't able to get to do, and we both were coaching and teaching. So that's been a real a big perk of retirement, and also getting to kind of just relax, really.
So, Coach, sounds like you've had a pretty good retirement. You've seen a lot of great football, overseeing the Hispanic Texas High School Football Coaches Association. This weekend has to be a very proud moment for you because looking at the list once more here, there are there's a huge number of about 15 or not more coaches that are coaching state championships that are part of the organization. You have coaches from every stretch of the state, from South Oak Cliff to Timpson, Belleville, Summer Creek, North Shore, DeSoto. How does it feel to be able to look at your association and say, hey, my guys are not only doing their thing in the regular season, but they're also taking their teams to the promised land and a chance to win state championships?
Well, that just attests to the knowledge of the members of our association and the members that we are really the people that we target in our association, so they're just not coaching, but they're also in leadership positions or making vital decisions of a program, not just in the games, but in other facets of the program, like off season, video coordinators, off season coordinators, recruiting coordinators. So that's the big thing that I would like to everybody to know is the decisions that are being made in these games and throughout these great programs that are participating in these games. They have a big part to play in the success in the decision making of what's going on, not just on the field, but on the behind the scenes as well.
Now, in this game that we have here, game one between Duncanville and Galena Park North Shore, North Shore has 3 coaches in the association alone. You have Coach Jacob Alvarez, Coach Nick Flores, Coach Jose Carranza. That's a lot of prestige in that locker room. So what have you seen from those 3 guys in particular that you think makes them so successful and is helping North Shore get to a state championship against a Duncanville team, which is now, I believe, their 5th or 6th matchup? They played each other a lot. So you have to say these coaches have done a great job getting their players acclimated to the big moment and not only helping them prevail in the regular season, but also in the postseason.
Yeah, they just attest to that the people in the head coaches and athletic directors are very know how to, that's what one of the great things in being a leader. You know how you need to know to surround yourself with great people, because without them, you can't have success that you need, because you can't do it by yourself, and that's something I totally know that you need. Everybody plays a part in the success of a program, and so that attests to their skill level, their knowledge, and the leadership of that program to align themselves with great people to help them be successful and continue success that both of those programs have, and just all the programs participating in today's games. The continued success they've had, it's a skill to know to align yourself with great people to help you be successful.
Now, Coach, you've seen a lot of football in your time too. With the regular season coming to a close and now the entirety of the season culminating in these state championships, do you have any games in particular that you've been to or any moments that you can recall that are some of your favorites of the 2023-24 season?
Just going back, I went to see an early season game between Atascocita and Katy and that was a great atmosphere, even though it was early season. But there's two great programs, two very highly successful programs. There was a lot of great talent, a lot of great coaching. That game also, I went to see the Spring and Decaney game, and there was a lot of, they just kind of feel like a big brother with those having a lot of in the success of these programs and the success of those staffs and those head coaches. To see, kind of feel like a big brother, that you see people being successful and know that you had a small part in the play in their success, and knowing to surround yourself with great people so those programs can have success, and so it also so those kids can have success and go on to bigger and better things once they graduate from high school.
Now, Coach, let's conclude with this. Of course, the state championships, the air's getting thinner. It's getting cold if it wasn't cold already. It's also Christmas time. Can you take us back to a time where you got a Christmas gift and thought, man, this might be the greatest Christmas gift I've ever received?
Oh, that's a good question. Me and my wife were talking about that when we were younger. I guess when I got my first a boom box, that you don't see them around as much.
Man,
nowadays. But I got that, and it's I put it on. I remember put it in my room, and I put it on. I got it and put it on my desk, and I was able to hook it up, and with the good antenna it had, I was able to get, because I grew up in Waco, so I was able to get the stations in Dallas, because Waco didn't have as many stations back then. So in Dallas with the bigger market, you have and being from that area, about K104. So I couldn't get that, and on the normal radio, but that was able for me to get that station, and it was just a big thing that I could record songs, I could play cassette tapes back in the. Now, those of you who don't know cassette tapes, that was that kind of tells you dates my age, but that's kind of one of the things. There was many, but that's just the first one that comes to mind. I just really, could really listen to the music I wanted to at that time.
Well, Coach, as always, thank you so much for your time. Always love sitting down and speaking with you, whether it be via interview or just good old casual conversation. We thank you for not only what the Hispanic Texas High School Football Coaches Association does for Hispanic coaches around the state, but also for the Antler Sports Network. We've come in and sat in and broadcasted games with me, and that's always a fun time to have. So looking forward to continuing that into the next season. Do you have any closing thoughts or any closing remarks for any coaches or any of our listeners today?
No, I just wanted to, just congratulate everybody on the great seasons they have. Good luck to all the team today. Good luck to all of our members that are participating in the games, even from Thursday. And congratulate them on them seasons, and hopefully they come out on top. But know that even if they don't, they know they're coming out on top because of the impact they have on the young men and young ladies that they come into contact with. And I say young ladies because I know we have a lot of young ladies that are student trainers, student managers, so the impact they have. And I want to thank you for all the support you've given us and the recognition you've given to our organization. And we know we look forward to working with you in the future, and we just want to thank you for being a big part of our success. And we hope to continue in this collaboration now and in the future.
Coach, I can't say it enough. Thank you so much. If you're interested in learning more about the Hispanic Texas High School Football Coaches Association, follow them online on X, or formerly known as Twitter, at Hispanic TXHSFB. Again, that's at Hispanic TXHSFB. And also be sure to stay on the lookout for what games we'll be having featuring Hispanic Texas High School Football Coaches Association coaches on our 2023-24 high school football slate. Find updates on that via the Antler Sports Network social media platforms and online at antlersn.com. Coach, thank you so much for your time, and enjoy the rest of championship weekend.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
More guard for the Trojans. A little bit of a 4-out, 1-in set here for my coach Francis and company. Looking for their first win against a Tyler team this year as Hadnot gets the end, 1 to go. Now it looks like they're going to say last touch was by All Saints, and Chapel Hill will take possession back. Corner 3. No good. Off from Taylor. Spin by Sewell, and 1, count it. Bianca Mumphrey again from downtown. That's her third.
You can't give up second chance points like that. Gave up 2 offensive rebounds. Easy 3. Taking back the lead right here for Tyler Legacy.
This has been a back and forth game. Exactly what you expect. Great side step. Miller. How they can play coming up in the conference season.
Yep. Stallions chewing down to 10 to shoot. Clark, one arm pass to Hammond. Hammond 3-ball. Front iron miss. Lovelace up to get the board for Texas Wesleyan. Being across the half-court line. Down the paint. Wham with the right hand.
Get there, and it's now back to a 1-point game. 23-22. The line still down here at home. Rayner will check back in. So it's Rayner, Ose, Miles, Hall, and Jones going through 5. For Tyler Legacy, it's McFall. Sanferno will get it to him in and after the dunk.
Stallions with the ball down by 7. In the far left corner, Clark with the drive. Clark rolls it off the rim over good defense by the Rams underneath, and it's pounded by Kenobi. They go for it. Kenobi gets it as he hangs it up there. 2-hand. That's a limb.
Still trying to get it to Sanford. They eventually get it to him. Sanford posting up Hall. Baby hook, no good. Great defense by Hall. Ose on the rebound. Open, 3-on-2 break. Lob pass, nails it down. To or radio. Find it all on our social media pages on Twitter at Antler_SN and on Facebook by simply searching Antler Sports Network. Both teams break their huddles. Fresh 8 minutes around the clock, and Bishop Gorman going the other way to start the fourth quarter. Ty, what a dunk! You wanted a dunk and you got it! Our left here, open 3, corner right in and out. No good. It beat has it with 5 seconds, 4 seconds. We've already seen one buzzer beater at the end of a half. Half court shot.
Oh, he hits it, baby!
At the end of the half, Crusaders going in with a little bit of mojo as Beaver on the short side of the field. Now is joined by 2 more receivers. Those receivers being Kyron Scott and Ryan Stevenson. Throw close to the end zone. One-handed catch! One-handed catch! Touchdown, Red Raiders! Oh my word!
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Both teams make their entrances onto the field of play, and we are set to get ready from AT&T Stadium. 2 more quarters of football. 2 more quarters remain in this 2023-24 Texas high school football season. Jared Jones and the Coach U in the booth high atop AT&T Stadium. Coach, can you believe we are about 25 to 30 minutes away from the season being over? Almost makes you want to shed a tear.
Yeah, this season seems like it went by super fast. One of the fastest seasons I feel like I've been a part of. I know we played a lot of games, but this doesn't feel real, man.
Man, fair to remember, just not too long ago, had our season opener here on the Antler Sports Network.
Had that 110-degree heat.
Indeed, it was. Oof.
All the delayed games and everything.
That was just a couple of months ago. That doesn't seem. It seems like it was just yesterday that teams were moving games to Thursdays and moving games to Saturdays and
Moving
later
games to
times.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, 8:30.
Kickoffs.
Not getting home till 2 in the morning in some cases. Just because the games were getting pushed back. But could we see a pushback from Summer Creek, currently down to start the third quarter, 46-7, getting outgained through the air, 236 yards to -3.
The rushing attack isn't much better. DeSoto has 160 yards rushing. Summer Creek has 49.
As Diaz tees things back up.
Very one-sided.
Say that again. Ball is up in the air, and we are set to go for third quarter action. Kickoff is taken the other way by Trey Brown. Brown gets it to the 20, might have gone to the 25. And I believe that's for the first time today that Brown has gotten to the 25-yard line. One thing that I always wanted to point out is how Diaz has been able to pin Thomas and this return team, well, Trey Brown and this return team back in awkward spots where they can't really decide if they want to let the ball go or take a knee or let it roll for a touchback or even take it out. So, honestly, I would say that Diaz has been a big part of this DeSoto defense, as say Akeelan Abrams.
Yeah, that kickoff team is really one of the first plays of defense.
First play from scrimmage. Going to be a run for Avant. And Avant, as the clock will roll, is only going to gain 2, making it 2nd down and 8. Ball's on the 27-yard line. We played about 30 seconds in this third quarter. Getting the call from head coach Kenny Harrison and staff.
Getting the trips formation back to the trips receivers.
4 receivers out wide. Avant the lone back. Thomas takes the snap, immediately rolls out to his right. Throw is incomplete. Closest target was Cordell Rogers, and it seems like they're trying to get the tight end Rogers involved, but DeSoto, and specifically Andre Wisner, has been on Rogers like white on rice this entire game, not allowing him to get open even for a second.
Yeah, like we said earlier, he's his favorite target for Summer Creek, number 8. Andre Wisner, the safety, outside linebacker type kid. Brother plays at UT, very athletic individual.
11 minutes, 6 seconds remaining in the third. Thomas snaps, immediately pressured, steps up, spins, still up, but eventually gets brought down by Brandon Booker. Booker does it again, getting into the backfield for DeSoto, forcing a 4th and long, 4th and 13 with about a minute and 45 left to go.
Middle linebacker, very smart kid. Gets into the correct position to make the play. Outside edge rushers right there. 15, Kiki Abrams forces the quarterback into the pocket, into no man's land.
Back deep again to receive is Antonio Pride Jr., who in the latter half of the second quarter was targeted 4 times in a row by DJ Bailey. 2 receptions. Punt is blocked! Great hands by the Eagles, Wisner, and he does it again. He does it on defense, does it on special teams. I think the kid even drove the bus here. We talk about how multifaceted some of these athletes are. Wisner doing it all, blocking the kick and giving DeSoto, dare I say, absolutely perfect field position.
Can't ask for anything more than that.
Indeed, you can't, Coach, with about 10-16 left to go in the third quarter. DeSoto will take it 1st and 10 on the 14-yard line. The risks just keep getting richer, Coach. An offense that's already been firing on all cylinders gets their first possession of the first half well inside the red zone.
When it rains, it pours, like we said earlier.
And the roof is closed. That's the crazy part.
Well, Jerry Jones might have a leak.
I need to get that checked, huh?
God bless.
10-16 remaining in the first. As we are intermediate timeout, DeSoto up 46-7 over Summer Creek. If you're looking for something to eat after the game, head over to Simple Simons in Crowley, not too far from here. Quality ingredients, fast service, and great prices. Simple Simons Pizza in Crowley, simply the best. Official DFW Pizza of the Antler Sports Network, an official slice of Texas Wesleyan Athletics. Again, 10-16 remaining in quarter number 3. It's 1st down and 10 from the 14-yard line for DeSoto after the block punt by Wisner. Wisner, who's made a name for himself in this game, at least from his coverage of the tight end Cordell Rogers. Now with the first block punt out of all 3 Saturday games. Now Bailey leads his Eagle offense back onto the field. And at running back, it's going to be Jakiri Washington, the 5'7", 165-pound junior. Looks like he's going to be taking a couple of snaps. As Bailey looking over at the game manager, who stands at around the 30-yard line.
Won't be surprised here. DeSoto starts getting to be able to put their seniors in, get them a good send-off.
Definitely in this moment, a dominant showing here on the grandest stage as the pass is complete to Tristan Bailey. Bailey to Bailey, but barely able to get any yards. If anything, might have lost a couple, and they did. It's going to be 2nd down and around 12 to go. Ball's now on the 16-yard line. 9:54 and counting. Bailey back in the gun. It's going to be a delayed handoff given to Washington. Washington gets struck down, but a flag is thrown late.
Yeah, right into a host of Bulldogs right there.
Later once again by number 99, Josiah Pratt. As we go down back to our referee, Greg Maxwell, as he gets the call. Looks like he's getting the call from the umpire. See what he has to say with 9:44.
Personal foul. Face mask on the defense. After this to the goal line, automatic, 1st down.
The rich continue to get richer, Coach.
We have an injury timeout on the field.
Seems like there is I don't know if that's looks like that's an injured Eagle on the far side sideline, and as he gets treated to, we'll be right back after this on the Antler Sports Network. After the injury timeout, Washington, the running back, the wounded Eagle, jogs off the field, so he will sit out for at least a play. Now back in at running back is going to be Jaden Trawick. Coach talked about getting the seniors in. Trawick is senior. He's had a pretty good showing of his own. 5 carries, 23 yards. Longest was a gain of 10, averaging just under 5 yards a carry. They get it to him right up the middle and into the end zone. 8-yard touchdown rush as DeSoto crosses the half-century mark and gets in for 6 more.
Delayed handoff there to Trawick. Follows his pullers on the GF counter. Follows his pullers perfectly. Fits it inside. Works vertically. Gets the score.
Trawick with that 8-yard run now makes it 52-7 DeSoto. It's like the Eagles can do absolutely no wrong. And we still have 9 minutes plus another quarter to play as the field goal is up and through. We have ourselves a new score. With 9:33 left to go in the third quarter, DeSoto running away with it. Eagles up over Summer Creek 53-7. Back in 30 seconds, our coverage of the UIL 6A Division I and Division II state championships continue after this.
Pelche, Key, and Tyler were tough, never quits.
Can't be
9:33 left to go in the third quarter. DeSoto scoring again off an 8-yard Trawick touchdown. And man, DeSoto continuing to pour it on. With that touchdown, that gives him 26 rushes for 168 yards. Trawick now 6 rushes, 31 yards, 5.2 yards per carry. Now is the 4th DeSoto running back for the touchdown, joining Duffy Ryden Jr. and the quarterback, DJ Bailey. Coach, I'm sorry, but we got to go to it again. You got to drive summary for us.
2 plays, 14 yards, touchdown capped off by Jaden Trawick, 8 yards after following the counter, putting it in the end zone.
All set up by an Andre Wisner blocked punt that started DeSoto at the 14-yard line.
We're in a route.
Man, they just haven't looked back since. 9:33 remaining in this third quarter. Both teams still stuck on the sideline. Don't know what they could be possibly waiting on.
TV timeout.
I'll never understand why they'll stick a TV timeout right after a kickoff or right after a team takes a charge timeout. I don't know. Maybe that's well, I know it's above my pay grade, but come on.
You got to get those ads in.
And I get it. Trust me. Believe you me. I get it. But come on. Come on, man.
You got to feel bad for Summer Creek. They've had one heck of a year. They've gone 14-1. Historic season for them. Not the way obviously they wanted to end this thing. Still obviously a lot of time left on the clock, but hats off to them for their historic season.
Definitely so. Correct me if I'm wrong, Coach. Played their first season back in 2010.
Yep, fairly new school.
So when all set to the word, it is an extremely young program. Into just a little over a decade, make it to a state championship. I don't know about you, but you wouldn't hear any complaints from me. 9:33 left to go. Diaz wearing that number 81 in green and gold across the front and back of his uniform. Approaches the 40. Ball is back up in the air. It's going to be caught by number 10. That's Brown. Heels onto the goal line. Gets brought down at the 22-yard line. Tackle is going to be made gang tackle was made by number 56, Caleb Williams, and also by number 21, Jalen Jones.
Like your observation earlier, that the kicker's very, very consistent, getting the ball right there at the 1-2 yard line. Makes it difficult for that returner to make that decision.
It's almost like a 12th defender. Especially when your kicker can do it consistently. That's something you don't really have too much attention on in terms of high school football, especially if you're this DeSoto team, even for like the Duncanvilles and the Alitos, packed with talent on both sides of the ball. So special team cats don't really get that much recognition, so it's good to see that Angel Diaz's contributions are not going unnoticed. First down at 10 run. It's going to be short. A short gain. Tackle gets made by Duncanville's number 48, Jason Douglas, a 6'3", 265-pound senior. It looks like we have another Eagle that is slow to get up. As he gets treated, we'll take that timeout with him. Back in 30 seconds. 9:08 left to go in the third quarter of play. DeSoto up 53. That's Brandon Booker, the injured Eagle on that last play. Booker has had a heck of a game on the defensive side of the football for the Eagles. 3 solo tackles, 3 assisted, 6 total, and 2 TFLs. So fair to say that they're going to miss his contributions no matter how long he's out for, whether that be 1, 5, or even 10 plays. Booker's had a fantastic state championship so far, Coach.
Yeah, one of the leaders of the defense, one of the hearts and soul of the DeSoto Eagles defense.
And Summer Creek comes back on offense, facing a second down and 9 with 8.5 left to go. High arcing pass for Thomas. It's in. No, incomplete. Pass was intended for Kayla Welsh. Welsh was covered about as close as you can get by the defensive back for DeSoto, number 20, Akeem Rasan. The 5'11", 165-pound senior was there pretty much right on schedule, but Thomas not able to get the throw in there. Now faces 3rd and long.
Watch the jump right here by the defensive end up top. Number 15, Kiki Abrams.
Indeed so. Gets into open space and getting to Blake Thomas once more. It's going to be for DeSoto, number 44, Marshall Curvin. Curvin, just one of the many names on this DeSoto defense.
Just feasting tonight.
Indeed so. He is big-time loss. He's going to make it 4th and 17 for Summer Creek. Another 4 and out for the Bulldogs. He's not able to get anything going. Remember the last time they had to punt the football? That was thwarted by the right hand of Andre Wisner. Wisner is back on the field on the right side of this defensive front for DeSoto.
See it if he can get another one.
If he can, I'll give him defensive MVP. Didn't get it, so someone else might have a chance to earn it. It's fair caught at the 45-yard line by Antonio Pride Jr. And now DeSoto will take back over 1st down and 10 with 7:37 left to go in the third quarter.
It's just funny watching that last defensive play by DeSoto. You can see Kiki Abrams calling for that defensive call right there. He looped from the defensive end spot into the defensive tackle spot. It moved over about 3 or 4 gaps, creating a mismatch with the defensive tackle to make the sack.
Just how versatile he is on that defensive side of the ball. Is able to pretty much take all the attention from an offensive line, all 5 members, at a moment's notice. 1st down and 10, 7:37 left to go in the third quarter. 53-7 is our score. DeSoto up big here in the 6A Division II state championship. Bailey in the gun. They're going to hand it off to Ryden Jr. Ryden gets to the 40-yard line. Going to have a solid gain. Marching towards the 30-yard line, that is. It's brought down by a host of Bulldogs. First one to get there is going to be number 11, Caleb Walker, the 6'3 senior. And also in there, once again, finishing the job, is Josiah Pratt. It's going to be a handoff to Ryden yet again. Ryden with a lane. Did they say he got brought down? No, it was a pre-snap penalty.
DeSoto's offensive line just imposing their will on Summer Creek. They're pushing everybody anywhere they want to go.
On the offense. All players will now become set. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
It seems like the penalty flag has played some of the best defense on DeSoto so far today. 7 minutes flat. It's second down and 10 after the penalty. They get it to Ryden again. Ryden gets hit twice, but eventually gets brought down by a collaborative effort by Summer Creek. It's Quest Simmons again on the tackle. And now this is where Ryden can just continue to eat up yards here in crunch time.
Yeah, Ryden playing really, really smart. Obviously coached up right here. He's been having two hands on the football the entire time, not to give Summer Creek a second chance.
Ryden on yet another run. No gain. That's going to bring up fourth down and short. It looks like Coach Mathis keeping that offense on the field in 4-down territory. It's going to be a keeper. Bailey looking for a push. Spins. I don't think he got it, Coach. Looking at the headline judge. And no, I don't think he got it.
If he would have gave that ball to Ryden, I believe he works his way to the first.
Most likely so. And nope, they're not going to give it to him as Bailey in the offense trots off. Bailey holding his ribs. Don't know if he's going to miss any particular or significant time. But if we didn't see him for the rest of this game, quite frankly, Coach, I wouldn't be surprised. Especially now that he's holding his rib. I feel like it's pretty safe to say that Coach Mathis could be comfortable with leaving him out for the rest of this contest. Either way, turnover on downs. Summer Creek will take over first and 10 from the 38-yard line, and he's immediately brought down by guess who? The front runner for our defensive MVP, the 6'2", 205-pound junior, Mr. Keelan Abrams.
Talking to Paul Beatty, one of their defensive coaches, talked about he was locked. Kiki's been locked in all week, wanting to win that defensive MVP. Said he was going to get it this week. He's playing his tail off right now. It's showing up on the field.
You know, if I were a betting man, I'd say it's a pretty fair bet to put on Abrams winning that Defensive Player of the Year award. It's going to be a pitch, and it's bobbled. DeSoto falls on the football. Getting a hand on it was Jalen Jones.
Just a toss out to the edge right there. Lloyd Avant just couldn't handle the ball.
Taking a look at the replay here.
They've run this play 3 or 4 times already.
Yeah, and Avant looked like he just didn't get full focus on the ball and wasn't able to completely gain possession. And now DeSoto is pretty much taking over where they were stopped fourth and short on the last possession, just add about 5 or so more yards. Bailey is back on the field. 4 receivers out wide, 1 running back. It's a handoff. His back is going to be to Duffy. Duffy marching towards the 30-yard line, but is going to get marched short of the 30. So he'll get to. Indeed. That's very few times we've seen Duffy run for a loss. Even though he's the smaller of the 4 running backs that we've seen, he's arguably the quickest. They fake the handoff. Bailey looking to throw. Has a man across the middle. Still fighting through. And Pride gets brought down.
Little fakes the handoff, hits Pride in the slant. Right in that little window.
That's going to make it first down and 10 for DeSoto. Bailey again, fakes the handoff to Duffy. Fade ball, corner, almost in front of the pylon, incomplete. Great deflection there by Colin Irving. Intended receiver was Feaster. And once again, Coach, we haven't really seen Easton Feaster get too many targets. We haven't really said his name a lot this game.
No, he's just a freshman. I think he's one of their next up-and-coming receivers in that stock that DeSoto always seems to be able to produce.
Bailey dropping back. Ball might have been tipped. Umpire says the ball did get tipped.
We have a flag on the play, I believe, in the area of holding.
It was Brandon Jones, who I believe got a hand on the football. Now let's get the call from referee Greg Maxwell.
Holding. Number 75 on the offense. 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat second down.
Now it's going to be a second down and long for Bailey and the DeSoto offense. Huge sigh of relief for Summer Creek, at least for the time being, for their defense.
They got our boy Snacks for holding right there.
Snacks. Come on, Snacks. Handoff back up the middle again. And it's going to be stuffed almost immediately. Duffy with pretty much nowhere to go and now facing third and long. That's a great nickname. We always have great names around the Antler Sports Network. I think Snacks, no pun intended, might take the cake. Good Lord, that was a horrible pun. 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Bailey back in the gun, makes a hand off to Duffy, looking to his left. Fade ball, end zone, touchdown DeSoto.
There he is.
26-yard touchdown pass is in to Feaster, the freshman. And Feaster is on the board here in the state championship. 59-7. DeSoto scores again, Coach.
Busted coverage. Feaster was guarded well by number 12 earlier in the drive. Right there, just lets the receiver get behind him.
Colin Irving, a little bit of a lapse. He's done a great job containing Feaster to minimal targets. As we await the PAT from Diaz, is up, right side, and good. Our new score with 3:49 left to go as Bailey has 5 touchdowns, 4 through the air, 1 on the ground. DeSoto delivering the blowout. Eagles 60, Summer Creek 7. Our coverage of the UIL State Championships continue after this on the Antler Sports Network. Diaz back to kick things off. We are set to resume play with 3:49 left to go. And after a turnover on downs, DeSoto able to force a turnover.
The fumble.
Yep. That turnover gave DeSoto the football back pretty much where they started and set up yet another touchdown for DJ Bailey. The drive we'll get to in a moment, and Diaz, this kick will go into the back of the end zone for a touchback.
It was a 5-play drive by DeSoto, started on the 30-yard line, capped off by another accurate pass by DJ Bailey, hit an Ethan Feaster for 26 yards.
As Coach Claude Mathis stalking the sidelines in that traditional Gary Patterson-esque visor.
Can't forget the vest.
Can't forget the vest. I feel like this man has a separate closet of just different types of DeSoto vests.
He's going to coach all the way to the whistle. He's going to make sure his kids are disciplined. He's going to make sure that they play all the way to the end, no matter who's on the field.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 3:44 left to go in the third. Dropping back and looking is Thomas. Thomas scrambling, lets it fly, and it's caught in the middle of the field, just outside of the right hash by Caleb Welsh, and that will move the chains. First down in 10 Summer Creek. And they're moving back to the line with a little bit of pep in their step with 3.5 left to go as the clock begins to roll once more. Shotgun snap. It's going to be a keeper. Thomas gets brought down around the 40. It's going to be a little bit of an option, but guess who's there?
Who else?
I don't know. Some kid named Keelan Abrams. Never heard of that guy before. Does he play on the lacrosse team too? I don't know. Never heard of this kid. All jokes aside, yet again.
Does DeSoto have a lacrosse team?
No clue. I'll have to talk to Coach Paul and see if there's one of the works. I believe it's a UIL sanctioned sport, but I digress. 2:50 left to go. Thomas walloped as he throws, incomplete. Pass was intended downfield for Cordell Rogers once more. Guess who was guarding him? Andre Wisner in tow with the multicolored skeleton-fingered gloves. That incompletion brings up 3rd and long.
You got to be able to complete those passes to try to get to do what you want to do here in the championship game. Just an inaccurate pass by the quarterback. Receiver had enough room to make a play. Ball was just an inaccurate throw.
Thomas took a lick as he let that football go. As Thomas has barely had little time to get anything off. This time he does. Pass is going to be complete to Avant. Avant gets pushed out of bounds right in front of the Summer Creek bench. Almost hit an Emerson camera guy, but he seems to be okay. That's an expensive camera he's got there. I'd hate to fall with that thing. That's going to be almost enough for a first down. Instead, Summer Creek will have to face a 4th and 4. And, Coach, do you keep your offense on the field? I would assume so.
Yeah. You don't wave the white flag and just go punt.
Not at all. 2.5 minutes left to go. Coach Harrison will keep his offense on the field. Thomas back in the gun, trying to go for a hard count. DeSoto gets a great jump. Flag is thrown, winds downfield, incomplete. Pass was intended for Jonathan Jones, but there is a flag right at the line of scrimmage. Possibly could be a hold. And coverage for DeSoto was Macaulay McKellar. Let's go back to referee Greg Maxwell.
Holding number 71 in the offense. That penalty is declined. It'll be first down DeSoto.
DeSoto turnover on downs.
Indeed it will be. They will get the football right back with 2:16 left to go in the 4th. Already up big, 60-7. Knocking on the door of the most points that they've scored in a game, both regular season or playoffs this year. That record, 65. How many points they put up on Willis in a 65-31 win back in the regional semifinal round? As Bailey and the DeSoto offense goes back onto the field.
Trywig checks in at running back.
Bailey steps back, rolls out to his left. Flag is thrown. Pass is caught, but immediately stuffed right before the line to gain. Catch is made by Feaster again. But this thing might be coming back as we get ready to hear once again from referee Greg Maxwell.
Pratt's helmet got pushed off. I'm not sure if it's either hands to the face or possibly a penalty on him for continuing to play without a helmet. Let's see what the call is.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding number 75 on the offense. We have unsportsmanlike. Number 99 lost his helmet and continued to participate in the play. Those penalties offset, and we will replay first down.
Right on the money, Coach. How about that? Offsetting penalties will remain first down and 10. Of course, Pratt, as you mentioned earlier, getting whacked with the unsportsmanlike penalty call. And yet, you can see on the replay, that's about as clear as day.
Yeah, he continued to move forward after his helmet came off. He actually pushed his own helmet off and continued to move forward. Becomes a safety issue. He's got to penalize that.
Handoff is right up the middle for Trawick. Trawick gets the first down and more. A gain of around 25 plus. As the clock will move inside of 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Another first set of downs for DeSoto on the big-time run from Trawick. They're going to hand it out to him once more. Minute 37 now. Immediately gets bottled up by a pack of Bulldogs led by Jashad Johnson. Johnson, the 5'11 junior, on the hit. After the short gain is going to bring up second down. And around 6, they're going to say he only gained 4.
Clyde Mathis giving the referee an earful. Not sure about what, though.
Who knows? Coach Mathis, I feel sorry for any ref that Coach Mathis has to deal with. as he will make sure that you are on your A game no matter what the score or the time says, as it looks like Summer Creek is going to call a timeout. And as they talk things over, we'll give our sponsor a chance at a message. Back in 30, DeSoto up big here in the 6A Division II State Championship, up over Summer Creek 60-7. Our coverage of the UIL State Championships along the ASN family of platforms continues after this.
Give it everything. At Pelche Kia and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
Back after the break, Summer Creek taking their first time out of the half. They now sit with 2 more remaining with 1 minute and 11 seconds and a second down and 6 for the Bulldog defense. Bailey looking into the end zone, spins, throws on the run. It's complete. No, maybe not.
Nope.
Don't think so.
Falling out of bounds, E.J. Feaster.
Feaster once more targeted. Seems like as this game has transpired, he's getting more and more targets, but Bailey, tight spiral on that ball, just didn't have enough room to keep it in bounds, and that'll make it 3rd and 6 with less than a minute to go in the 3rd.
As accurate as Bailey is, he's not quite the mobile quarterback that we've seen in the other games.
Might be
DeSoto
that
continues to pass the ball here.
And the helmet comes off as Bailey gets brought down by guess who? Josiah Pratt. Pratt checks back in, immediately making an impact, bringing Bailey down well behind the line of scrimmage for a huge loss and bring up 4th down. I don't see any flags anywhere. 44 seconds left. That loss of 10 makes it 4th and 16. .44 seconds left. This play seems to be stopped for a moment. I don't know what could be going on here. It seems like Coach Mathis is talking over on the sideline to his offense.
He might be able to burn a timeout here and put DJ back on.
Chances are 5 seconds left on the play clock. They will indeed call that timeout. Coach Mathis looking right at the official, and he calls it.
If you call that timeout, the quarterback can or the player that lost his helmet can sub back in without having to sit out a play.
He sure can. And as DeSoto takes that timeout, we'll take it with him. Back in 30 seconds. DeSoto up big, 60-7 over Summer Creek. Back with more after this. Great question, Coach. What do you do here on 4th and 16? Bailey is going to be back in. He's gone 16 for 21, almost 300 yards through the air, 4 through the air, throwing, not to mention 1 on the ground. So, I don't know. Looks like they're not going to kick a field goal. I can tell you that. Unless Bailey is as multifaceted as we think he is.
You got stacked receivers, 2-by-2 formation. Here
Here's
comes the switch routes
the
that they scored on earlier again.
Bailey gets it batted down. And it looks like the ball will be called dead. Summer Creek was able to get a hand on it as Kayla Walker, right place, right time, might have just earned himself a starting spot on the basketball team with that block, Coach.
Yeah, DeSoto tries to run the same play that they scored on earlier in the game in the first quarter. The receivers are stacked. They worked the switch routes. Looks like Summer Creek made the adjustment to that, had tight coverage, and we got a batted down ball.
Both teams sitting at 2 timeouts apiece. 16 seconds remain in this 3rd quarter. Might see Summer Creek try to get a play or 2 out of this. They do have 2 timeouts. Thomas looking, gets an open space, makes a move, stiff arms, spins, still up almost at midfield, gets brought down at the 47. Little bit of a
Weaving through traffic right there.
A little bit of a river dance kick to get out of trouble there. And Summer Creek still showing some signs of fight as we conclude quarter number 3. One more quarter left to go. More of the same after 3 quarters of football. It's all Eagles. Desoto 60, Summer Creek 7. Back in 1 minute. Our coverage of the UIL state championships continue after this. We play 3 quarters of football here at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Only 1 more quarter remains before a champion is crowned. The way things are looking, looks like DeSoto is about to go help DeSoto. Well, DeSoto's about to help Duncanville go 2 for 2 for the DFW in 6A as DeSoto fans are dancing and enjoying their time here in Arlington.
Dance cam is in full effect.
Indeed it is. That's the perks of, well, some would consider it a perk of having jumbotrons with multiple cameras and getting to see some of the best and worst dancing you have ever seen. And Lord knows we have seen that in droves today.
The kids love it. And some of the adults do too.
Some of the adults. Some of the adults just really don't care. Just give a nice little wave and move on. Can't complain there, though. It's good to see that all fans, those who still remain here at AT&T Stadium, are enjoying their time here at Jerry World, and we have enjoyed it too. Want to give a thank you to the Hispanic Texas High School Football Coaches Association, President Armando Jacinto, you, Coach U, for being here. Want to thank the social media director, Tony Manning. Happy anniversary to him. Head coach over at Brackenridge. And the rest of the fantastic crew over the Hispanic Texas High School Football Coaches Association. Proud partners of the Antler Sports Network, hopefully for years to come. It's going to be first down and 10. Ball will be placed on the 47-yard line as we get ready to begin the final period, the final 12 minutes of the 2023-2024 high school football season. And, Coach, what a ride it has been.
No doubt this DeSoto team seems like a team of destiny, especially when they're momentum and they start beating Duncanville in the regular season to take that district title. Looks like they're trying to cap it off right here.
Avant takes the handoff. He'll gain 1 to make it second down and 9. As Avant pretty much has been the story of the Summer Creek offense this year. It seems like there is another Eagle down. But Avant, Coach, you talked about in your keys of the game, and I remember this vividly, they have to get him going, but he's getting outrushed by his own quarterback, Blake Thomas. Thomas has 57 yards off of 12 rushes. Avant, 30 yards off of 16 rushes. Coach, he's averaging a yard on average per rush, but does have a touchdown.
Yeah, the offensive line is just getting overwhelmed, swarmed by the defensive DeSoto front 7. They're keying off Avant. They know that was one of the keys to success. Talking to the DeSoto coaches, they knew they had to stop 25 to win the game.
And it looks like they took that to heart. Well, 11:38 clock is rolling. After the injured Eagle is escorted off of the field, hopefully he's okay. 11 and a half minutes now, 60-7. Summer Creek facing a 2nd and 9. About goes out, could be possibly a wheel here, but no, Thomas will be running for his life and gets brought down at the 40-yard line. Multiple Eagles swarming on the play, led by number 44, Marshall Curvin, once again the junior, into the backfield for DeSoto.
Good hands. 48 actually gets the sack right there. Jason Douglas, the senior captain. Big fella playing defensive end for the Eagles.
3rd and 16 now after the TFL. 10:50 left to go in the fourth quarter.
It's just always funny watching games like this, and you can see the little tails between run or pass. That quarterback went to wipe his hands pre-snap on the turf, making sure he can get a good ball out. Defense keyed on it. Here he goes, wiped his hands on the turf again.
Did it again, and it looks like we have a timeout called by Summer Creek. And as they take that timeout, they'll have one more remaining, and we'll take it with them. 10.5 left to go in the fourth. DeSoto up 60-7. Back in 1 minute on the Antler Sports Network. Back after the break, rolling out is Thomas. Thomas, 3 Eagles around him. That could be intentional grounding.
He was outside the pocket.
Well, indeed he was. We've seen some interesting.
Delayed little blitz right there by the middle linebacker. Saw the opening in the offensive line. Flushed the quarterback out of the pocket.
That incompletion will now make it 4th and 16. Trotting back out to punt this thing away is going to be Brian Mays, 5'10 junior, donning that number 15. Back deep to receive again is Antonio Pride Jr. DeSoto, with 10 minutes left to go, will get the football back.
Another block.
Blocked yet again. DeSoto, they toss it behind and into the end zone. Wow, what a play! Brandon Booker, who sat out for a little while in the third quarter, who was hurt, back onto the field, but there is 2 flags. One is sitting at about the 27-yard line. The other one is at about the 30. Coach,
referees are giggling and laughing. I wonder what this is.
Could this come back? Take the points back momentarily as we get the call from.
I want to see the replay no matter what.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. There is no foul on the play for a forward pass. The ball was blocked, and the ball was put backwards. Touchdown, DeSoto.
Yep, inadvertent flag. Smart heads up play right there. Pitching the ball back.
DeSoto.
Got to be happy for that senior.
Look at Colin Mathis. All smiles on that sideline. I could guarantee that was not planned.
No, obviously it's been practiced, though. Kids don't naturally do that. Testament to his coaching staff, his special teams coordinator, teaching the kids that when you block a punt, that no matter what, it's going to be your ball. Might as well pitch it, get the extra yards.
Still waiting to see the replay here with 9:50 left to go. Awaiting the PAT try from Angel Diaz. Remember, Bailey faked it on the first PAT attempt of the game, but this one is up and good. Now the lead increases to 60. As we have another look at it, it was initially brought in by Sael Reyes, and Reyes just pitched it immediately right behind him to Booker almost by instinct. Either way, DeSoto with 9:50 left to go in this season, up big on Summer Creek, 67-7, our score. What a play, Coach. What a play. Back after this. 9:50 remaining in quarter number 4. Desoto getting back into the end zone again, increasing their lead. The trivia question up on the board: what former high school football player set the record for most receiving yards? Marvin Mims. We were both wrong. We thought it was. Yeah, I tried it. Never mind. You did get it right, Coach. Congratulations on your high school football knowledge.
If I get it right, give me the credit, man.
I got you, Coach. I guess I'll give you your credit. But I promise you that if you have someone like DJ Bailey on your side, who's now 16 for 22 with almost 300 yards through the air, 4 touchdowns through the air, longest 55. He's only been sacked once, not to mention a rushing touchdown, even though he's rushed 6 times for negative 23 yards for an average of negative 3.8. The scoreboard would probably tell you otherwise, as Coach Desoto punches it into the end zone again in a very special way.
Winning in all 3 phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams.
Indeed, they are getting into the end zone off of a blocked punt by Reyes, who got it lateraled, who lateraled it behind him to Brandon Booker for what I would consider a 13-yard touchdown. And now, back up in the air, the kick from Diaz as it's bobbled, but eventually picked back up and going the other way with it is going to be Harvey. Harvey spins, still up on his feet.
Bounces off some tackles right there.
Indeed he does, like a pinball, and brought down at about the 35-yard line. First down and 10 for Summer Creek, with a little over 9.5 left to go in this game. So now both teams will trot back onto the field. Summer Creek, their only loss this year was against guess who? Galena Park North Shore, the same team that Duncanville just defeated in the 6A Division I championship. Here's her handoff right down Main Street to Avant. Avant is going to get a solid pickup here of around 7 and bring up a second down and short.
This is the yardage they were looking for in the first quarter.
Indeed they were, Coach. This is pretty obvious that this offense lives and breathes through the legs of Avant. Hasn't been there for him this game. 9 minutes left to go in this game now. Rubbing his hands back on the turf, Coach, as you pointed out, is Blake Thomas. Has Avant to his left. A slot receiver, 3 out wide. That slot receiver being Trey Brown. Drops back, looking to his left. Brown now has to get out of trouble. Outside of the left hash. Now past the numbers at the 40. Gets rushed out. Did he get the first down? At least from this angle, I believe he did. And waiting to see.
Yeah, I believe they're going to give it to him.
I think they are too, Coach. And yes, they will. Fresh set of downs. First down and 10. Gain of 5 from Thomas. Move the chains. 8.5 minutes left to go.
Good decision by the QB right there. Both receivers that were on that side of the field were well covered. Took what the defense gave them.
8 minutes, 24 seconds left to go after the first down run from Thomas. It's going to be a handoff to Avant. Avant gets to the outside, has a block, makes one miss. He's along the sideline, gets pushed out of bounds, gain of 16. Move the chains again.
We have an injury timeout.
Another Bulldog down.
As we just heard from referee Greg Maxwell, there's an injured Bulldog down and around the 40-yard line. And after that first down from Avant, with 8:06 left to go as he gets treated, we'll take a short timeout. Back in 30 seconds. UIL State Championship football continues on the Antler Sports Network right after this. .806 after the injury timeout. The injured Bulldog was Cameron Miles, the 6-foot senior offensive lineman, getting escorted to the sideline and walking under his own power. But Avant with a gain of 12, his longest gain of the game, a gain of 16, moves the chains. First down and 10. 8 minutes now. Clock is rolling. Avant sending to the right of Thomas. Thomas drops back, looking right, strikes, it's complete. Sure hands at the 30-yard line. It's exactly what he needed. First down and 10. Passes hauled in by Trey Brown, the freshman.
Yeah, ball was right there on the money for the receiver.
Money in the bank, even though I'm sure the bank is closed. Need an ATM to catch that check in. 7.5 minutes left to go. It's going to be a keeper for Thomas. Thomas jukes to his left, gets to the 30, so maybe they'll give him a gain of 1. If that could be the most they'd possibly give him. And yes, that's exactly what they'll do. 2nd down and 9 after the 1-yard rush, after the play broke down. Bringing him down was a host of Eagles, couple of Eagles. First one to get there was Aiden Miner, number 95, the 6'1", 270-pound freshman. 7 minutes left to go in this game. Throw is batted down. Intended for the awaiting arms of Mason Otrick. Here's first target of the game. Right hands, right time is Jay Trowick, the brother of the running back, Jaden Trowick. The completion brings up 3rd down and 9. 6 minutes, 40 seconds left to go. Ball is still placed with the 29-yard line. Summer Creek Bulldogs offense operating from left to right on your respective device. Man in motion. Now slot receiver on the right side of the formation. That receiver is Trey Brown. Now receiver scoot in some. Thomas rolls out. Has a man and just overthrown. Incomplete. Ball was intended for Caleb Welsh, who was initially closer to the sideline than he was to the numbers. Scooched in just a tad bit in motion. In coverage for DeSoto was Antron White. Now 4th and 9.
Sprint out to the boundary is always tough, but right there, inaccurate pass by the quarterback. Overthrows his receiver.
Thomas a little bit too much mustard on that throw as we cross within the 6-minute mark. Soto, Coach Matthews' company, have 2 timeouts. Summer Creek, led by Coach Harrison, has 1. 60-7, Eagles up big.
We need to get that quarterback a towel.
Indeed we do, rubbing his hands on the turf again.
Often.
Thomas takes a snap, looking, pressure, floats one across the middle. He's got a man. It's caught inside the 5. Trey Brown, 1st and goal, converting on 4th down. Thomas, a quick feed right across the middle of the field. Stephen Clerky caught napping with 5:20 left to go. It's 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Now Summer Creek threatening.
You got tripped to the boundary by Summer Creek.
They hand it off to Avant. Avant barrels through. He's going to be down at the 1. Looking at both the referees on the line of scrimmage, even the scoreboard operators here at AT&T Stadium thought he got in, but just short. That will be a gain of 3, 2nd down and goal from the 1-yard line. 4 minutes, 54 seconds left to go.
Look to give it back to Avant.
And they indeed do as he waltzes right into the end zone. Summer Creek back on the scoreboard for a 1-yard rush for Avant. Avant, his 2nd touchdown of the game on his 20th carry. Fair to say, even though he hasn't had the same production yardage-wise, he has toted the rock a great many times for Summer Creek.
Hats off to the seniors. Had an awesome career at Summer Creek. Rushed for over 2,100 yards. Was a Houston Touchdown Club finalist. I guess right now he has over 33 touchdowns on the season.
Definitely so.
A lot of Summer Creek success has contributed to that young man.
Lining up the PAT is Brian Mays. He's the punter, field goal kicker, and place kicker. Snap, hold by Holden Miller. How about that? Holden Miller on the hold. Kick is up and good. Our new score, Summer Creek breaks the play, gets to the end zone with 4:46 left to go in the 4th. Our new score, 67-14. DeSoto still up. Back after this. Coverage of the UIL State Championships on the ASN family and platforms continues after this. 4:46 left to go in this game. Keelan Abrams and Desoto U. Fair to say, they'll be sleeping good tonight. With 4:46 left to go, Mays to kick off. Just takes one step and gets a pretty good leg into this one. Rolls after taking a hit at the 10-yard line into the end zone for a touchback. And Coach Summer Creek breaking into the end zone, crossing that double-digit mark. Still down big, but fantastic drive to get downfield and into the end zone.
Yeah, 10-play drive, 66-yard drive, capped off by a touchdown by the senior captain.
Avant on the 1-yard touchdown run for the exclamation point. As he's on the sideline, speaking with his Bulldog teammates. As Desoto's offense will trot back onto the field. And now, looks like we might have a new face at quarterback. That's going to be that Keelan Abrams over at quarterback. Can't really get the clearest view on his number. Shotgun snap. It's going to be a handoff right to the right side along the right hash. It's going to be Duffy on that run. It's going to be a short gain, maybe of about 2.
16.
That's going to be 2nd down and 8 to go. With 4:18 counting left in this game. As Duffy gets the play call from the sideline. Most likely going to be using him the rest of the way out. It's going to be a direct snap. The keeper gets to about the 30-yard line on the direct carry. Is going to be number 88. That's Michael Head, the tight end, listed as a tight end, 6'2", 250-pound junior. Gets tackled by a host of Bulldogs, led by number 33. At least I'm going to credit it to Kyron Duhan.
16 checks back in the ball game.
3rd down and 4. Chad Williams, 6 foot, 185-pound senior, backup QB, takes the 3rd down snap. Hand off to Duffy. Duffy has a lane, has a block, has space at the 40, now at midfield, has one more defender to beat at the 30, 25-20, 15-10, 5, gets pushed out into the end zone. No, he's short. They mark him out at around the 7 or 8 yard line, and now 1st and goal for DeSoto.
Great effort from the backside corner. Really, he's the what we usually call in pursuit drill, the touchdown saving guy. That's exactly what he did right there.
As Duffy had a head of steam, saw nothing but the end zone. Ironically, tackled by his 27 mate, Morrell Williams, sophomore defensive back, right place, right time. Here's 1st and goal. Getting to the outside, cross the numbers, but brought down. It's going to be Sael Reyes again, the man who's responsible for that punt return lateral, as Bailey on the sideline, 16 for 22, 281 yards, 4 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground. That's how you cap off a career at DeSoto. Can't think of too many ways better than that.
No, not too many ways.
High snap. He's immediately blown up by the Summer Creek defense. Ball comes out. Tackle's going to be made by Caleb Walker. On the run is Washington. As we had a word from Greg Maxwell, the referee, zooming, just saying there's an injury timeout, and there is. Looks like another Eagle is cramping up. And you wonder why, and I would assume you don't really see that many cramps in outdoor stadiums. Is it maybe the dome environment that could be causing the cramps? I don't know. Not 100% sure.
I just think they're teenage kids that don't hydrate well. Speaking from experience.
As Coach Mathis comes out to check on Washington.
They just don't hydrate well. They don't prepare their bodies like professionals. They think they're drinking water, think they're drinking Gatorade, but until they're well hydrated, that's going to happen.
Well, there was a certain boy, let's keep it at that, who always urged the consumption of high-quality H2O. 2:10 left to go. As Coach Mathis helps Washington off the field. I think we've seen Coach Mathis help every single player, every DeSoto player that's gone down in this game. As now he goes back to approach his offense. As Washington comes off the field.
It's kind of a pride thing right here for Summer Creek's defense. See if they can keep DeSoto out of the end zone.
Second down and goal after the loss. The ball's at the 12-yard line. We've crossed within 2 minutes. Shotgun snap. Cocks back. Fires. Back in the end zone. Touchdown, DeSoto again. 12-yard touchdown pass. Antonio Pride from Chad Williams right into the corner of the end zone. That was a DJ Bailey-esque throw, Coach. That was a beautiful ball.
The ball was on the money. Antonio Pride wins his one-on-one versus the corner, scores a 7, scores a 6.
Could be 7, depending on what happens with Angel Diaz and how this kick goes. Although Bailey is not in at quarterback, taking any more snaps, he will take snaps as the holder. So at least he's getting some more extra play time. Diaz's kick booted through the uprights and good. DeSoto scores again. After the fantastic ball, the Bailey-esque throw from Williams to Pride, our new score. With 1:40 left in the 2022-23 season, our score, DeSoto 74, Summer Creek 14. Back in 30 seconds. Our coverage of the UIL 6A State Championships continues after this. Fourth quarter just has 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining as the clock is now rolling. Diaz ready to kick things off. Ball is teed up at the 40-yard line. Coach Yu, I can tell you this. If you're DeSoto, there is no better way to cap off this season, especially this playoff run. You beat your biggest rival twice, the Battle of the Belt line, once in the regular season, once in the postseason. As coming out to bring up the kick is going to be Brown. Brown now juking at the 15, now at the 20. Gets brought down around the 23. And if you're DeSoto, you win a district championship. You hand DeSoto their first and second place trophy in district since head coach Reginald Samples got there back in 2015. And you beat him in the regular season. The first game got rained out. You wake up on Saturday afternoon and you beat them at home. You defeat a Willis team who many thought would match up with DJ Bailey in terms of quarterback play. You beat them handily in the regional semi, 65-31. You go through the DFW gauntlet, beating Wiley East in the second round, Cedar Hill in the fourth, South Lake Carroll in the fifth for the state semis, and you make it here to the state championship. It seems like DeSoto is going to take a timeout. Coach Claude Mathis, you can see the aggravation on his face. Up 74-14, and he is vividly livid about something. Don't know what coach could be mad about.
I believe he's giving his coaches an earful. He calls timeout. They don't get off the sideline to talk to the kids. I'm not sure what the timeout is for.
Well, how about this? Up on the big screen. Up on the big screen. A record-setting night for DeSoto. 74 points, the most in a 6A Division II championship game.
They tied second overall in sacks for 6.
An absolute, pretty much perfect game on all three facets, as you said earlier, Coach. Offense, defense, and special teams. Pretty much perfect. As close to perfect as you can get. We're within a minute now. Clock will roll. Handoff immediately bottled up by a host of DeSoto defenders. The first one to get there was going to be number 41, Cameron Washington. That carry is the first by number 7, Aaron Alexander. Alexander is a 5'10 junior. It's going to be for no gain. Second down and 10. 35 seconds left to go. Thomas drops back. Fade ball, one-on-one, and it's caught! Brought down across midfield. Fantastic ball, fantastic catch by Caleb Welch. Now we'll stop the clock at least for a moment. And Summer Creek rushes back to the line of scrimmage with 23 seconds left in this one. Alexander back in at running back. Snap to Thomas. They'll hand it to Alexander as Alexander gets bottled up by two Eagles. First one to get there was number 31 of Maddox Contreras. Also there, the linebacker, Nicholas Hamilton. And that will do it. 10 seconds remain in this season. Coach Mathis running away from the water bath. And now he accepts it. A picture perfect season. 15-0. The Desoto Eagles are champions of the state of Texas as they reign supreme over 6A Division I by a final score, defeating Summer Creek in AT&T Stadium. DeSoto 74, Summer Creek 14. Coach, that was from top to bottom a DeSoto-led game.
One-sided affair.
Very one-sided affair.
From the opening kickoff to the final whistle.
DeSoto imposing their will on offense, defense, and special teams. Wall to wall, bumper to bumper, from quarter to quarter, sea to shining sea, however you want to say it. It was all DeSoto. When we come back, we'll award our offensive and defensive players of the game. We'll wait to hear from Coach Mathis and put a bow on not only tonight, not only our second game of a college championship, well, a high school championship doubleheader, but of a 2023-24 high school football season. Once again, our final, DeSoto 74, Summer Creek 14. Back in 3 minutes, our coverage of the Texas UIL High School Football 6A Championships will conclude after these messages.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. interscholastic sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
DeSoto reigns supreme over 6A Division II once again, this time with a dominating 74-14 win over the Bulldogs of Summer Creek. Coach, it's that time. Let's go ahead and salute our offensive MVP.
I think it's no question about it that DJ Bailey deserves the offensive MVP. Leader of the DeSoto offense, very accurate quarterback, went 16 for 22, threw for 281 yards, 4 touchdowns, had an additional run as well for touchdown as I believe it was a 1-yard touchdown.
It was a 1-yard rushing touchdown. If you look at his rushing stats, wasn't anything too crazy, but still a touchdown nonetheless, contributing in all facets of the game. And speaking on offense, let's just say DeSoto, from top to bottom, completed domination. Scored the first 4 touchdowns of the game. Summer Creek would get on the board and would eventually make it a 29-7 game. DeSoto would then score on the next 5 possessions. That spanned from the end of the first quarter all the way through the 3:49 mark in the third quarter. At that point, the score was 60-7. Then the final exclamation point, Coach, as we talked about earlier, a beautiful fade ball into the back of the end zone to finally put what is a perfect ending to a perfect season. No pun intended.
Yeah, I said it earlier. I think that DeSoto was almost a team of destiny. They were picked by many to repeat, and they completed the undefeated season.
An undefeated season indeed. That's capped off by a dominating state championship win. Now we've already saluted our offensive MVP. Coach, close us out. Who was our defensive MVP for this game? We had a good debate over this off camera or off air.
Yeah, I think the defensive MVP was a little bit more tougher since DeSoto was so swarming on their defense, but we were going to give it to the senior. Brandon Booker had 6 total tackles, 2 tackles for a loss as an assist as well. Added on a sack and also included a special teams touchdown. Kid was all over the place, real big difference maker, heart and soul of the defense for the DeSoto Eagles.
Indeed he was, and what a touchdown that was. A nice little lateral on like a 5 or a 13-yard block punt that turned into a pitch, and Booker was just there right on schedule. As officials on the field are saluting their offensive and defensive MVPs. When we come back, we'll have our final discussions and possibly hear from Coach Claude Mathis and wrap this thing up. We'll take another 3-minute break. Back after this, DeSoto, big-time win over Summer Creek, 74-14. Postgame continues after this.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Final score, once again, from AT&T Stadium, Desoto, back-to-back kings of 6A Division I. Coach Yu, this has been a pretty fantastic weekend. A lot of fantastic offense, a lot of high scoring, a lot of action-packed football to conclude the season.
Absolutely. Both the teams should hold their heads up high. I believe DeSoto could probably beat some college teams with the amount of talent that they have and the coaching staff that they have. Executed the game plan very well. We got Summer Creek put up a record season. Hold their heads up for young men. Kenny Harris, record season for him. See if they continue to build on this.
It's over. A journey that began all the way back in the summer months in the scalding heat now concludes in the evenly tempered 72 degrees inside of Jerry World here at AT&T Stadium. And that'll do it. The 2023-2024 season is over as the celebrations conclude here at AT&T Stadium. We give our final goodbyes, not only to the ASN high school football slate, but to the 2023-24 Texas high school football season. For Coach Yu, for the Hispanic Texas High School Football Coaches Association, for our editor-in-chief, Nick Jordan, for our executive producer, Justin Jackson, in our ASN Houston studios, for our entire production crew, Matthew Hermans, Hunter Taylor, Nathan Kinney, and our amazing ASN crew, this is Jarrett Jones saying so long. And for football, until next season.